Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another Component Cast episode of Zweihander, the Great Schism. Before we get on with tonight's broadcast, of course, we've got to do some random things that we always do at the beginning of every episode. Roach, give us more details on what we're playing tonight.
Well, Midge, as always, we are playing Zweihander. Hold on a second, I'm just double checking the timing on this because I have not updated my notes in 2 weeks. Okay, cool. Yeah, we're playing Zweihander, Grim and Perilous RPG, published by Andrews McNeil Publishing and designed by Daniel D. Fox. It's a grim, dark set of low fantasy-ish rules based on a D100 system. Yes, thank you, Midge. With a we've been having a good time with so far with us playing it. I would normally spiel into the other games, but I did want to point out, just because we're getting really close to it, Blackbirds, the one of the games that's based on the Grim and Perilous system, is coming out on the expected around the 13th of September. So we're literally 1 month away from that release, and that was a game that had a very interesting setting in which the evil wizards have already won and have ascended to the higher planes to kill all the gods, and you're just kind of dealing with the aftermath in the mortal plane, which is, it's interesting. I like the idea of it. And then there's also another one that's based on the Revolutionary War that is also very interesting, called Flames of Freedom. I'm very tired, so I'm not going to go into my normal notes because I can't remember most of them. So yeah, that's it.
Oh, well, before we also move on, we also are using TaleSpire because we always get a lot of questions about our VTT, which is a virtual tabletop which allows us to use various 3D models, and it's really cool. Other than that, without further ado tonight, let's get on with tonight's broadcast. Okay. We're coming
Regale
back
the
to-
audience with what you were saying.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we were just talking about the fact that the component cast have been nominated for 4 categories in an online film festival. We specifically surrounding the Elendor Chronicles. We have been nominated. We are in the final nominations, should I say, for best original actual play. I think it is.
Yes, and best ensemble art.
Best ensemble art, so our artists getting some absolutely great love and well-deserved love. Best overlays and best GM for an actual play. So yeah. Anyway,
Congratulations. Well done.
Specifically to Midge, who's a finalist in 2 of those categories.
Who turned one of the characters that are in that ensemble art into ash yesterday.
no, don't spoilers. Like,
Go find out how.
It happened.
don't spoil that I popped my murder cherry.
Wow.
As a DM in game, as a DM in game, Twitch, as a DM in game.
That's not something you want to leave up to interpretation.
Yeah,
No, it's fine.
no,
That's
no.
I do not add any addendums to that statement. That is.
So, everybody, before we get going, we forgot one thing in the post game, last week. In the post game 2 weeks ago, you should have all gotten 1 rank in order on your alignment chart because there was no corruption that week, so you automatically would have gotten that order 1. I'm pretty sure I said this last week as well because we had a little off stream meet, but yeah, just
Awesome.
make sure you've got that marked on your.
No, you didn't say anything, Roach. You were too busy shitting yourself while playing that VR horror game.
I said something. You just weren't here for it. Either way.
It's your fault, damn it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So it's been 2 weeks, so I'm not going to force anybody to actually do a recap. When we left off last session, you all had found an interesting location in the middle of nowhere, not too far away from the old logging camp, which had been attacked, a large oak in the center of a small clearing that had words carved into it. A bit of a riddle. After discussing it for a while, going back and forth, our resident ranger, nature person.
No.
Yeah.
The gnome. Yeah.
Yeah, the gnome decided curveball and just prayed at the location. And fairly soon afterwards, an interesting event occurred. Just a lot of ominous sounds and changes in the atmosphere, and then a undead corpse showed up behind Newton because that was the one I rolled for it to ambush.
And it wasn't an undead corpse, it was a person with a hangover.
Maybe one
Yes.
was just with a very large missing section of a very large part of their midsection just gone.
That just sounds like a good weekend out.
Yeah, seriously, man, have you not had a good weekend out where we can't talk, and can't move properly, and you could actually have a piece of yourself missing and go.
That's fine. Grow back. It'll finally grow back. It's fine. Grow back.
Hi.
Definitely asking the wrong
He's having
person.
a good weekend soon.
How
Exactly. Like,
normal are the undead in this setting, in this world?
Not very.
So it's
not-
been known
it's-
to happen. It's not like the first time anyone's ever seen a zombie.
I mean, yeah, it's not like, this isn't The Walking Dead where it's like, what are these walkers? No, it's
Yeah.
it's like, oh, that's a zombie. What the fuck? It'd be like us seeing it'd be like us right now, all of us seeing a vampire right now in real life. It'd just be like, well, okay, that's surprising.
Wait, whoa, well, hold on.
Bite
So, wait, you understand, Rose, that no one in the world has ever seen a real vampire, though, right? Like you get that.
That you
You
know
get that
of.
vampires aren't real.
It'd be like us seeing an alien. There's a lot of people that say they've seen aliens.
Right. But if I saw an alien, I assure you, I would be exceptionally surprised.
I would be asking that. Well,
There's a
I would
reason you
be.
roll
I think.
for it.
I think my
There's a
first
reason you
question
rolled
would
for
be, "Are you free for dinner this evening?" I would probably be that dinner. But hey, that's cool. Worst ways to go out.
They're not going to be Turians.
Right.
God damn it, Roach! Don't you ruin my. Don't ruin my fantasies, man.
But yeah,
Don't
no,
you do
they're
that to
not.
me.
They're not common. None of you have seen one.
Right.
I'm gonna say
Before
this. None
now.
of you have seen them, and before now.
But they're mythical then. They're mythical then. Because I would say that aliens and vampires are mythical in our world. Are you saying that that's the case? That they are rumored to exist, but anyone who said that they saw a zombie, you call them mad or something?
Or from Miami.
Yeah, or Florida, somewhere in Florida.
Yeah.
Miami's in Florida, Mikey.
Yes, I know. I realized after I said it, I wasn't going to acknowledge
It's
it.
all right.
Shut,
It's okay.
Shut up.
It's
Shut up.
okay. You're all. None of you are from the U.S.
No,
I
haven't.
don't assume. I don't assume. Yeah. But
What do you mean Miami's not a state?
It should be, considering.
people want it to be. Past that, let's just get through the recap because I'm still in the middle of it. Saw that, dealt with it, with Newton turning around and then quickly taking a bottle of holy water and just smashing it against the head of this being as if he was like in a bar fight and he just had an empty beer bottle, and did so well he not only damaged the creature, he also outdid the damage threshold so much that it instantaneously died.
I think it combusted, didn't it, as well?
Yeah, it did. There's just a pile of ashes on the ground.
Well,
He got caught.
Did you all fucking see that?
Is Newton's hand bleeding from the glass?
I'm gonna say no. He's got
Probably-
enough calluses.
Probably no more than a paper cut, even if it was with the size of
That's
Newton's
true.
hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yes, I did. Holy shit.
I will not be able to do that again.
What?
I'm sorry.
Can I investigate the corpse?
I didn't know that would happen.
Well, it's okay. Apparently, the only harm that came out of it is a paper cut on Newton's hand.
What were you saying? What were you saying, Mitch?
Can I investigate this corpse? Because we think
Sure.
it's the.
There's no corpse. It's just a pile of ashes.
Okay. Yeah, no, sorry. Can I recall what I saw in the brief moments before I upsized the head thing? You know, I want to ascertain what that was and who that might have been.
Before you glass the corpse, essentially.
Yeah, sure. Sure. You can go ahead and make a scrutinize check.
Thank you. I will do.
I will indeed.
I do declare.
Well, I do declare.
That is a 32. I require.
Less than that.
Scrutinize for me is a 55.
That's a pretty good scrutinize.
It is.
It's almost like I'm an investigator.
Yeah. Do this for a living, huh?
Yeah, you think back. I am missing my pencil. You think back, and it definitely wasn't. It was moving, but it didn't seem to. It shouldn't be alive. It didn't look like it should have been. It had a very large gash across its chest. Was very palish green. Didn't seem to have a lot of intelligence behind its eyes. But yeah, it looked like a kind of like middle-aged, like slightly heavier set, like man, human, who was balding at the top, just very and kind of not work clothes, like somebody who was managing woodwear. So you could infer that it was probably some sort of foreman, maybe.
I think that is what happened to the foreman, and dear, I do not think it was you. I think this might have been just circumstantial.
Could I roll a folklore on the zombie to see what I know about it from a sort of storytelling perspective?
Sure.
Kluft's list of Kluft's folklore table is a different table to ours.
Yeah.
Ooh, I rolled an 11. So let's find out.
Critical success.
That's a
I think it
critical
is.
success.
Yeah. My folklore is it's like 43 trained.
Yeah, if I recall, you have a fairly good folklore.
Yeah.
Already. Yeah. Kluft, that was a zombie.
Right, but what I know about zombies.
Well, there's a lot of stories like during the Dark Ages. There's a lot of like myths about magical necromancers that would raise armies of zombies and siege castles, or outbreaks of maybe like a disease in far off lands that would cause this kind of stuff. There's a lot of different things, all like sometimes if you get bit you turn into one, or it's more of a magical effect. So it's a lot of disparate knowledge. You definitely know though that quite a few tales say of the undead corpses that are ravenous for the living and will stop at nothing to get to them. But it seems that this one wasn't up to the task.
Okay. I think everything is starting to make sense. I think I know what's going on. I know what these are, and I like gesture to the zombie. I think what we're dealing with here is a Dark Lord. Classic.
Okay. Expound on that for me, will you?
Well, this here is a member of the undead. They do the bidding of evil wizards and dark lords. I think we're dealing with an end of the world thing.
End of the world thing.
Or at least an end of the sort of surrounding nation states thing.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been getting itchy recently, so I don't think it's a disease. So I'm reckoning, got ourselves a Dark Lord. Probably we should be on the lookout for towers, big towers, made of black stone. But that usually is the could be the ghost.
Ilba.
Could be the ghost in the mayor's house. Could have been raising the dead.
We're still on the thing about ghosts in the mayor house.
Well, I mean, you're looking at a living corpse that has risen from the dead and attended
Looking at a pile of ashes.
that was burned by a holy water. I think it's time to start
I'm gonna
believing
put some
in
of
ghosts.
the ashes in the vial. Oh no, the vial smashed.
Yes.
I'm gonna
man.
use my tools and just sort of get some into like a little pat. Like I'm just gonna take some of the remaining dust.
Also, you might wanna protect your head. You might want to protect your head. Zombies like to eat the brain, like to suck out your brain with a straw.
Then
So through the ear.
shouldn't
So
come
protect
over
your
here,
ears.
there's barely a snack.
I think
Oh well.
I think mine's far enough away that they'll have a time reaching it.
I don't know. They really they do like to go for it. I mean, even if it is a small brain, they'll try to eat that too. So I'm just saying, like, let's not be lax here, you know.
You know, as much as I don't
doesn't get it.
necessarily agree with all of the phrasing that Kluft has just used, I do believe the last thing he said was actually quite true. We shouldn't be lackadaisical about this.
Yep, so cover your ears in case they try and get your brain with a straw. I got some spare socks if anybody wants them. Put them over your ears.
So, Newton, you go and you try and gather some of the ashes. Make a awareness check for me.
Ooh. Just awareness?
Yeah.
Okay, I failed with a 69.
Nice.
I needed 45.
Okay.
Listen, you may fail the roll, but you won in life.
I just need to get out my correct dice.
He's got dice that he uses to torture us and dice he uses to not torture us. Depends on the
They're
day.
weighted.
Yeah.
Well, they wouldn't even need to be weighted because we can't even see what he's rolling. For all we know, he could just be like saying stuff, you know?
I rolled
1,000. Yeah.
1,000. Yeah. Well,
on a D100, I got 1,000. It's surprising.
No, it's gotta be a 10,000 or 1,001, so it's a crit.
yeah.
You grab some of the ashes and put them away, Newton. Though you do notice one thing there's an odd shape in the ashes. Something is underneath the surface.
Oh, can I brush away and try to get that? Okay.
Yeah, you can. You kind of brush it away a little bit, and there's a sprig in the middle of the ashes.
Ashen. Talking the little sprig. This was in the remains. Any idea what?
May I see?
Absolutely. Any idea what tree this came from?
Do I have any idea what tree this came from?
Jonah, go ahead, and you're gonna need to make a. I'm just gonna double check. There's nothing. Is there a nature? I don't think there's a nature. Is there a nature?
I don't think so.
No, I think folklore
Or survival, maybe.
or survival.
Yeah, I'd probably say survival would be what you'd want.
Or intelligence.
Survive.
Education, if there's a natural biology under there.
No, there's nothing there, Mitch.
Need to get that list. Do you know? I happen to know what page the list of like sub-task things are. I think I was saying
Focus.
Yeah, the focus.
The focuses.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that'll be
Show us the baby.
that'll be 192 of the
He's cooing a lot.
other.
Oh, hello, Charlie. I got a 53. I needed a 61.
Cool. It's some sort of pine. It's some sort of pine that this comes from. So it's just sprig of that was off it. Though it's an old. It would be a very old pine.
Was there any pines in the logging camp?
No, this is like old growth. Like this is like oaks and various other like deciduous tree. Oh, actually, what is a pine? Oh God, it's been ages since.
Evergreen. Pine is evergreen.
These are like deciduous trees. There have been pines you've seen, like a mix of a couple of evergreens here and there, but not like concentrated.
Plant lore is under survival.
It felt right.
Good guess, Roach. I wonder.
Skill.
I wonder if there was an ancient pine somewhere that they failed for something.
How would that make them into zombies, though?
Well, because the natural spirits are looking for vengeance for something that they've lost.
But you need a Dark Lord to be made into a zombie.
paid.
That or a disease.
What if the tree is
Well-
the Dark Lord?
A Dark Lord for a tree. That's not a very good Dark Lord. Usually, Dark Lords are getting killed by walking trees and such.
I guess can't be choosers.
Ugh. I guess. It could be
I
one of
walk
those
over-
inversions that people talk about.
I
What
walk
do they
over
say?
to the tree and see if that giant hole that Ashen put in it is still there from praying at it.
Yeah, no, it's still carved out.
Huh.
Like an ice cream scoop.
Well,
Wood.
it stands to reason that if the Dark Lord wanted the logging to stop, maybe we should get the logging going again.
Does the
Maybe we
sprig
should
look
just
like it fits in the hole?
Cut down the forest.
What was that, Mitch?
Does the sprig look like it could fit in the hole?
I mean, yeah, I guess relative sizes, yes, but technically a lot of things could. It's not like, yeah, it's
It doesn't
so-
fit like perfectly.
It's not like,
Yeah, no.
like I'm not trying to unlock the Book of the Dead kind of level. That's what it's like.
Yeah, no, like I said, like the hole is like a ice cream scoop out of the thing. It's just like disintegrated in a half circle into the wood side, and a sprig is just it's a sprig. I don't know how to describe it other than a sprig. It's a little... So yeah,
I'm gonna put the pine sprig away safely.
Okay.
I think we should go.
What pocket do you put it in? Is it touching metal?
I'm gonna put it near my chest, but all my armor is leather and hide.
Okay.
Does Newton, you'd be the kind of man who'd notice this detail. What was the mayor's fireplace made out of? Like his, what do you call that thing that goes around the decorative wooden piece that tends to go around the fireplace?
The mantle.
The mantle. Yes. What was his mantle made of? Do you remember?
Using my powers of deduction, well, could I tell if it was a hardwood or a softwood? Because they have very different grain and finish.
Can I do an
Must let
appraise?
that joke go. Must let that joke go.
No. You can play with the idea of my hard or softwood.
I'd let. I'm
Nice.
just gonna move on.
Nice.
I'd let Kluft do an appraisal check, but you'd have to do it with the -10 because you were really focused on.
You weren't really hard.
You were really focused on the mayor himself.
I'm always hard, okay? I'll have you know.
Okay, I turn to Kluft. Kluft, do you remember if it was a dark-colored mantle or a lighter-colored one?
Looks like it was your standard typical mahogany. I'd estimate around 3 years, probably in perfect condition. You're looking at various different types of polish.
What type of vinyl did it? What type of varnishing finish did it have on it?
Well, you would
Honestly,
not
Benny.
put vinyl on mahogany, for God's sake, you heathen!
I will echo that.
Hardwood!
The hard one. Don't need no vinyl.
32. So let me just see if that
Wow.
does it.
You put a 32 on it.
Yeah. A 32 revolver. That is.
My God.
It does actually. So my intelligence is 43. So I make it with the -10.
Surprising.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, tradecraft is actually willpower.
Yeah, because you're. Oh, it's a
I
test of
totally
wills,
could see
I'd
that.
assume,
Yeah, it's a content. Yeah, you're trying. Yeah.
Well, that's 46. So I don't know which one.
Well, appraise. What would that be? That'd be a. Is there like an?
I have like.
Trying to see which would. Trying to. Tradecraft, yeah, would make sense. I don't think there is an appraisal check, is there?
No.
I have
there isn't.
counterfeit to see, so I can appraise whether or not things are counterfeit or not.
Yeah.
Hey, Midge, what's in the focuses for tradecraft?
I'm reading it. I'm reading.
He's reading. He's
So,
doing his reading.
tradecraft under willcraft. The lower options are artistry, brewing, carpentry, engineering, fine smithery, gastronomy,
Carpentry.
gunsmithing, metallurgy, runesmithing, shipwriting, smithing, stoneworking, tailoring, tanning, and weaponsmithing.
Carpentry.
was in there. Yep.
I would also say counterfeit would work as well because you'd have to. Yeah, counterfeit also works, which I think is intelligence.
I make it then. With the -10.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's like a hardwood. It's like a really nice hardwood that had been carved.
It was your. Well, I say everything I said there. I said about the classic.
Mahogany.
Yeah, 3 years. I estimate last time it was polished was probably 3 days previous to that. Unfortunately, that's gonna make sure that all wear and tear is not. You're gonna get very little wear and tear at such a thing, which means that it's not gonna have as much character as other types of metal pieces, perhaps.
So it's fine. It's not the mantelpiece then.
It had stain on it though, to kind of like give it some extra color.
It was stained, but it wasn't a real stain. It wasn't real.
Fine as a softwood. We're fine.
It's like the people who put holes in their trousers. What's the point? It's not a real hole.
I mean, I thought that maybe they've taken this pine that you thought it might be Ashen and maybe use it for his mantelpiece, but he didn't leave anything behind, or he, the usual kind of nature will take back what is owed sort of situation.
Oh, jeez.
I think we need to go back to the town and ask about if anyone knows of any old trees.
I take a rock out of my pocket and throw it to the ground and say sorry.
Sorry.
Just roots come up and just.
I don't like the countryside. I don't like it at all.
Well, at least we now know what happened here.
Well, yes, that somebody put
Should find a priest as well.
Yes, I was going to suggest the same thing. I'm all out of holy water. And despite my background, I am the last person you're want trying to play. Well, I could have been, but let's not go into that one, okay?
But we have to speak with a priest. They usually try to make you do stuff. Like pray and get a new god in that.
I can handle talking to a priest.
Okay. I don't want a new god. I'm already in debt to like 5 of them. I don't need more.
Yeah. My order alignment is skepticism, so I'm probably not the best person to be making holy wars.
I like how Kluft is hating the country, and we get the most noise of the city from discourse.
Yeah, someone's searching for her. They're looking for her.
I'm just glad it's not me anymore.
The window's open. It's hot.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I'm glad the noise isn't me anymore, and that's with the window closed.
Yeah, what do y'all want to do?
Does anybody else have any kind of things we should check? I think we found everything here that we could.
I'm telling you, you don't get zombies by accident. Somebody's doing it. Somebody's putting zombies around.
We agree.
Yes, somebody did do it.
So you want to look for a big book full of magic words that sound like dog or bugga bugga boo, stuff like that, like real bad words,
And then the roots emerge from the ground, wrap around.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't in an evil language. It was in Latin. This was
You'll get it
Latin.
eventually.
I can't remember. Every week I forget what it's called. I need to write. Or something, or
Somebody's got to have it in the notes.
I probably do, but
God damn you!
Fake Latin.
Fake Latin.
It's in Pig Latin.
Fake Latin.
It's in Romance.
Yeah.
It's in it. I mean, it's in the freaking primer as well, I think.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Like, can you not remember the name of your own language, Roach?
I know
No,
what it is.
he's being facetious.
I'm forcing.
Aspirate. There we are.
Old aspirate.
Asperdi.
I have it written here, but it's not.
No,
written
it's in old asbestos.
Old asbestos.
Oh, I've got a bunch of that if you need more.
That explains a lot.
You know what? It gives you a great. It's good, really good to huff.
I like to tear bits of it up just for fun.
It's good for you proofing.
Yeah, they make great O2 masks.
Yep.
What's O2?
Just to emphasize, for the sake of Twitch, we are joking.
Yes, this is.
Yes, we are.
This is a sketch.
We are joking. Yes, none of us have
Twitch
any
algorithms,
interest.
please do not hurt us.
Yeah, none of us have any interest in any asbestos manufacturers.
I mean, we've been pulling up asbestos floor in this house all last 2 weeks.
Yikes.
Oh.
I don't even want to think what's in the walls of this house.
You are using correct precautionary measures and everything.
Yeah, it's absolutely minute level, so we're allowed to handle it ourselves if we wear masks, and we're only allowed to throw one bag of it out every fortnight.
So, you know, you're just hanging around for a while.
So it's just hanging around.
So we have it in thin plastic bags that are just piling
No,
up,
it's like triple
and-
bagged. But yeah.
Triple bagged, oh yeah.
Yeah.
For their pleasure.
Yeah, exactly.
So, what do y'all want to do?
Let's head back to the original town, I think.
Yeah. I think we found all we can here.
Could somebody like map us back here quick? Like, make sure they take note of some place markers to get back here rapidly if we need to.
I should be able to do that, shouldn't I, Roach? Given my navigation and my always know where north is.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Could you just roll a navigation check for me?
Sure.
The background audio that I have playing for this scene right now has random crows every kind of often, and I keep they keep surprising me. Like I just heard a string. I was going like, what? Why are they outside my window?
What's a crow doing outside my window?
Just Edgar Allan Poe this.
48.
Yeah.
I needed 53.
Cool. Yeah, you can definitely do that. It's even worse because there's like a crow couple that like comes here every year, and so they're very loud and obnoxious.
God. What's it like to live out in the country, Roach? Is it that wild?
It is that wild out here.
Yeah.
There's a skunk that lives somewhere on the property. I see her and her kits. Well, her kits are gone now. I think they probably got too big and they've just gone. But cross my driveway at the same time every day. From one field to the next. So from one corn field to the next cornfield.
Wow.
Just some skunks that just live somewhere. I'm pretty sure they're in a barn that we don't use anymore. Yeah, and also I've woken up to an owl just looking at me. Like,
But you have a barn that you don't use anymore.
Not ours. The farm. There's like my address is my address, but then there's my address, the farm, that is another the company that then owns everything here. Like there's a couple of grain bins and a couple of barns and storage sheds and a big garage and stuff. So yeah,
It's wild to me that people live in such conditions. I kind of find it hard to fathom.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Is this discourse or
you
Kluft?
can live where you live.
Both,
Yeah.
Both in this situation.
The city seems big and scary. So
Roach is
Belfast is not a city.
Field fire. That's what I had last week.
We had a lot of that down where I used to live as well.
Yeah, I'm just rolling some things. Just keep talking amongst yourselves.
What is field fire?
A field on fire.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. Wildfires.
Forest fire without a forest.
Do people do it on purpose?
Was it wildfires or was it controlled burn?
No. These are like
it was,
wildfires.
and the one I had, there was too many police and fire engines for it to be a controlled burn, and it came really close to the houses. So we were evacuated for all of 20 minutes.
Oh.
Oh wow.
Oh yes, that's the British level of safety. 20 minutes later. It's fine now. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's fine now. Don't worry about it.
You're good.
It's okay.
You're good. Put a mask on. You'll be fine.
But it's someone who sounds like Midge saying it. So you're fine.
So we've had, basically, to give some context, a 200% increase in wildfire reports in the UK in this year compared to last.
Interesting. I did see a satellite photo comparing last July to this July, and it looks a lot yellower.
Yeah.
Okay, so you begin your journey to the town that you have been. That's basically your home base since this adventure started. Going back to Low Hill, which you spent a good part of today traveling to the logging site. It's so you were part way there already, so it's not. It won't take you. Stop yawning, Mikey.
Sorry, I apologize.
I need to stop looking at your cameras, but I can't help it. You start the journey. It's not going to take you too long. God damn you, rival. God damn it. God, it's been 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks. God
Jimmy's.
No, now you're all just fucking with me, though. That's a so you spend you're going to spend a couple of days traveling overland. You, with the help of Ashen, you're not going to get lost or anything. You're traveling along, not necessarily roadways, but established routes through the forest. Second here. Just need everybody to make an awareness check. I'm gonna get something with a lot of caffeine in it.
47.
Good idea, Roach. Good idea.
What is my
On awareness check.
Yeah, no, I see nothing.
Isaac rolled that.
Wow.
So does that mean you rolled a 2?
No, opposite.
Oh, a 92. Or a 99 or whatever.
72.
Unawareness.
So I'm meaning
Okay,
I
so-
failed a perception check.
So what you're telling me is you gotta go down and do a push-up because you rolled a 2.
Technically?
Technically.
I passed.
Okay. Needed a 41, got a 27.
Cool.
I don't know if I
61,
passed.
I've got 53.
I got 82.
Nope.
Cool.
I got a 47 and my stat is 47. So is that a pass?
That is it's at or below.
Technically, that's as best as you could do if it was an opposed roll.
And opposed, if it was opposed, yeah.
Yeah. I got a 24 versus a 45.
Okay, cool.
I just found out you can only have as many focuses as your intelligence bonus.
Oh, in general.
Yeah, in general across the board. I'm very lucky to have an intelligence bonus of 7 then.
Yeah.
I'm glad Midge is reading the rulebook on how to play the game while we're playing the game.
I mean, hey,
Well,
sometimes
pays
that's
to
the
be
best way to
prepared.
learn. Yeah,
Well, no,
sometimes that's the
it's
best way to
only
learn.
I'm looking at buying a focus was the thing, so I'm reading the words of it.
That's fair, I suppose.
So what you're saying is you're not paying attention. Great.
Oh, I am.
get it.
Well, I failed my check, so.
Yeah, it's accurate. It's in
method
character. Yeah, it's in character.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, you travel for a good part of the day. Everybody who's exceeded that check near the end of your travels for the day, because it was fairly close to afternoon when you found that site. You see off to the side, just randomly, an odd shape in the forest canopy. That when you look closer at it, there's something in one of the branches above the above a little above a tree. Yeah, in the branches of a tree above kind of the edge of a tree line where there's like a meadow. So it's right at the edge. It's just catching the light.
Can someone give me a boost?
Oh, is it a glint of something? Like a light? Like, oh.
Drakel picks up Red's character and just holds him up.
Ashen?
Red's character.
climb up to it?
With aid, yeah, you can get up close to it.
If it's trash, I call dibs.
Too late.
As you
Well,
get
nobody else
closer
said
to it,
dibs.
you can see it's an old bow.
Sounds like trash to me.
How high up is it in the tree?
It's not like in like it's like dangling from the low the lowest branch, but still up in like the canopy area. So I mean, Newton could probably reach it like without aid.
I was gonna say I'm 9 foot with giant hands. Can I just? Oh, did you want this? I'm.
No. Let's be honest. Newton would leave it there because that's just his type of character.
Oh,
He'd just be
actually,
like, no,
to
you
be
get
fair,
it,
with
you get it."
his doing this, he goes, "Oh, I just rolled a 7, so there's my good roll for the night." Oh God! Look at you two using your ingenuity. Back to the book.
Savage.
I will clue him. And can I sort of get the bow down? Because, you know, a bow is very up Ashen Street.
Oh, yeah, sure. Go ahead. I need you to just go ahead and roll a...
The bow explodes in shrapnel. Congrats.
Go ahead and roll a bomb defusal check. It's a dexterity subset.
Roll a death saving.
Roll a coordination check.
That doesn't sound ominous.
No, not at all.
I got a 24. I needed a 56.
Awesome.
So pretty good.
Yeah, so you don't have any trouble steadying yourself and then being able to reach up to where it's connected. It looks like the string, something got this bow up here with enough force that the string wrapped around the branch without breaking the bow. So the bow has been traveling quick enough that it kind of looped in on itself. So the bow's under tension, and it's been here for a while. Because you can see the branch has kind of grown around the string. So it's been here for a while. But you go up, you figure out what you need. You just need to like break off one end of the branch to then kind of get the rest of the bow off. And as you do, you touch the bow, and I need you to just make a willpower check.
My worst
Wibbly
one.
wobbly,
Ah,
wibbly wobbly,
yes.
timely wobbly bullshit's going on now.
Get ready for the peyote trip.
Yeah.
Time for the pain train.
Fail, 68.
Cool. Give me 1 second here.
Their willpower is super low.
Oh.
I've just got to get this up here. Crap, where's that? One suggestion to the TaleSpire guys, it would be great if you could like preset ambient and music tracks to like pre-made presets. You could just press a button for, and then you could rapidly switch between them. Ah, damn it. Yeah, we got that one. I'm just trying to find this. I have it written down, but I can't. My eyes aren't working well. There we go. Ashen, you touch the bow. And when you do, you stand in a meadow along a small line of hills on the edge of a tree line. Just in front of you are arrows you placed into the ground to ease in your task ahead. To your left and right stand the other archers, all waiting for the orders to come down as you see a line of troops amassing and slowly moving towards you on the opposite side of the clearing. And finally, the order comes. Knock. Draw. Loose. Knock. Draw. Loose. Arrows begin flying across, and men fall in the meadow as your own troops come from behind you and go through your line, forming their own line to where they will meet. A battle has started. Is there anything you'd like to do?
I'm just following orders.
And you do. For what seems like hours. Sometimes you pick up the arrows and relocate. Other times you stay still, continually waiting. But hours pass. And the meadow that was once green is now stained red. The bundle of arrows that you originally had are now gone. All used. And few, if any, soldiers still stand in the center of the clearing. You and the others of your unit sit on the grass looking over a field, watching as soldiers from your side sift through the wounded and dead. Is there anything you'd like to do?
Could I go down towards the soldiers and start maybe getting some more arrows in case the battle starts again or another force comes through?
You get up, your legs and arms aching from a day of battle, but soldier on through and begin sifting through what's left. A couple of minutes pass before something happens. Off in your peripheral vision, you don't see the instigating incident, but you feel the results of whatever happened. A flash of green and yellow light washes over your vision, and you feel yourself flying backwards. Your bow leaving your hands. And you land kind of in a heap, little ways away from where you were before. Your hearing ringing. What would you like to do?
Do I have any other weapons on me?
Small sword on your side.
I draw that. I try to get the attention of the other archers in my unit and sort of try and tell them what's happening and get prepared.
You draw your sword and you look up to where your comrades had recently just been sitting, resting. And you see blackened grass and a hole in the tree line. And you feel a rumble in the ground, slowly growing. And just when your hearing begins to come back, it's filled with screams in the air. Ashen, you're standing on top of Drakel's shoulders and you are holding a bow.
Oh, you seem to have experienced something there.
Is it really valuable then? People usually gasp very loud when they find a very valuable thing. I never find those.
Jeska, when you felt the spear, what did you see?
I saw a battle. I was on the losing side, and there was a Newton Cavaliers. There was a battle mage who turned everyone into mush.
Mages are fine. It's other things.
Mush is the best food.
I just wanted to be sure, Newton. Anyway, yeah, that's what I saw, and it felt like I was. It felt like I was there, like the person who I was inhabiting was me, but it didn't quite match up because, you know. And she looks down at herself.
Same.
Well, it looks like there's a lot of these little items that are floating about around here.
Yes. Thank you, Drakel. I owe you dinner.
No problem.
So, what's happening? What? Is the bow really valuable then, or what is it?
Seems to be another possessed weapon. I've never seen anything like this in my life.
See what?
Well, this
No, I've seen
Jeska had a. Jeska's one was repairable. Maybe. Roach, what condition is this thing? Does it just need restringing? What needs happening? Or is it completely busted?
Yeah, because mine just vanished, I'm pretty sure, when I touched it.
Yes, yours was in disrepair. You take a look at this, and what you see is a fairly nice composite bow.
Working order?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Is it in working order?
Would need a new string, but other than that, it looks like the main part of it's fine.
Would Ashen know how to string a bow?
You could make a check for it if need be, though you would have to get a string for it, so you'd have to procure one, but yeah.
I have string
Or it might be
I
something
think.
that the blacksmith could do.
Like a hunter, if there's like a local hunter could do it. Stringing an already completed bow isn't that hard. It's more, in fact, you might just need other people's help, depending on the bow. But you just need a proper string for it. So it's more just procuring a string. So basically you just have a composite bow that needs a new string.
Awesome, thank you.
I was just reading through the focuses, and one of the scrutinized ones is detect social class.
Ah, yes, the plebeians.
I just walk up to a man and just like, anarcho-syndicalist. Interesting.
You basically have
Smell
to.
like socialism.
You determine it based on what type of cheese they choose. Kind of like.
Yeah.
No, wine or cheese?
Both.
What color is the cheese you eat? Blue, eh?
What level of pasteurization?
If it isn't at least 17 years old, I don't want to hear about it.
An appreciable percentage of a Frenchman's life didn't go into that cheese you ate. I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
It's a good focus to know.
You'll be nothing to me.
No, compared to the other ones in the category, though, it sounds rather useless.
I mean, never know.
Considering the other one is
Depends on-
detect lies. Like,
Yeah, I suppose.
Depends on the type of. I mean, imagine someone was trying to carry themselves off as a nobleman. And get people to
Yeah,
check
okay.
what type of class they're from.
It's a flexible enough system. You could do like a court intrigue
Oh,
campaign. and
there's
that would be
literally
very
one in here
useful.
which is courtly intrigue under bargain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There you go.
it's
Yeah.
cool. I like the list.
I have a question. Does anybody actually know of anybody that's run like a court intrigue campaign that has
Yes.
worked?
I have. It was
Ooh.
a ton of fun. We ran it as a kingdom builder. So the party were basically playing. We had a reeve. We had the head of like basically alchemy. We were basically playing a council, and we all made decisions, and there was loads of politics and stuff. I was playing as the leader, and I was this incompetent child like noble who'd been shipped off by his dad from like the actual main kingdom because he had to learn responsibility.
It sounds a little bit like Pathfinder Kingmaker.
Yeah,
module
I know.
for that.
It was much better than Pathfinder. There was none of that silly adventuring. Instead, we hired people to do stuff like that because we're not goons.
The problem is, if
So-
we did it, it would just turn into season 3 of Blackadder.
Yeah, it would. It would. Yeah.
It's a ton of fun. I'd recommend it to anybody who's curious about those types of games. I played like a stupid princeling who basically just did whatever the last person said I should do. Because the council was trying to convince me because I was the ultimate decision maker, but I was an idiot. So I just did what people told me to do. They were like, so everybody was just trying to be really corrupt. It was a lot of fun.
So Blackadder season 3.
Yeah, it was a ton of fun. My character got
So-
poisoned by accident. It was a whole
Because I
thing.
have no cultural context of Blackadder. I'm just gonna move on.
Wow. That's like pretty rough, dude. I'm sorry to hear that.
I don't doesn't play here. It's not big.
Court intrigue games are really fun, and you got to remember, Roach, as well. World of Darkness is basically a court intrigue game.
That's true.
Like like if you play Vampire the Masquerade or something, you're basically playing a court simulator, just as set in the modern day.
That's very true. And though I have publicly available opinions on that rules system and setting, I'm not going to say them on live stream because there's a potential that we could work with them eventually.
Well, it's good because they're incredible. They're a really
They
good
are.
system. They're a really good setting. I really like World of Darkness. I think they're great. They're probably one of my favorite systems, for sure.
You now have a composite longbow, or a composite bow, not a composite longbow. That would be ridiculous. You have a composite bow, and yeah, you had that vision. What else? What would you all like to do? Continue on, or what's the plan?
I still don't get why you gasped.
I was another person for a while.
Oh, have you been eating mushrooms?
I feel like it would be a similar effect.
Ugh. But you got it from the bow.
Yes.
Could be coated in mushroom. Can I touch it and see if it happens to me too?
I'd love to see this.
Okay, I will cautiously hold the bow.
It's more expensive than you feel you deserve to touch.
Well, it's not getting me high. So.
Disappointed.
You know the exact. You know that it's. You know that it's. You know that it's made. It's made of you.
Mm.
Are you saying this bow just used sense social class on Kluft? Like,
Honestly, I would expect that skill to be much more useful as a poor person. I can totally see it as a spy thing. Yeah, you're just like, wait.
Nice try, undercover boss. I
Yeah.
think not.
Yeah, you're playing as an organizing union in like the era of industrialization. You're trying to figure.
Good luck.
Pinkertons.
Yeah.
So,
So damn Pinkertons.
Well, if it doesn't work, I'll hand it back, leaving like a dirty finger, like handprint on it to you.
it's definitely not clean. But somehow it still leaves a darker.
There's a dark shadow where once my hand was. That's weird. It could be magic or something. I hear about magic weapons all the time. There's a barbarian who lived in our neighborhood. He had a magic axe. He used it to chop in the door of the firemen when they didn't save his house because he wouldn't pay his arrears.
Ashen, I have another question in terms of our investigation, and I need you to help me clarify some timelines here. Did we anticipate an idea of when the village around here, all the crops and such, started dying? Is this a very recent thing, or has this been over like 10 years or so?
We never asked anyone. We haven't asked anyone yet.
Okay, we need to ascertain that for sure then. Because what if this great tree was crossfire during this great battle that happened here?
What would that have to do with anything?
Well, if the tree was hit by artillery or magic, and then slowly the protection has gotten thicker out of the forest, it's just, there's a lot of this warfare debris causing people to hallucinate moments of that battle for it to have been a coincidence at this point in like, happening once, that's a coincidence. Happening twice to the same group of people on an investigation. I have to pay attention to that kind of mischief.
Oh, it's more than just mischief.
It could be that the forest is just littered with magic items that send people back in time. Just everywhere. If we kept an eye out for it, we could find more.
We think we know what war this is, don't we, Roach? Because this is this Great Schism war, isn't it?
Yeah, it does. It was a little while ago, yeah. But
you
it's
said about
still
10
the
years
same.
with the combat.
Oh yeah, it's not like an ancient war, is it? It's
No.
Which is like, well, if this, what I'm getting at is if this has slowly been getting worse over the period of 10 years, because doesn't that also align with some of the stuff with the mine and also some of the stuff with the giant wolves, and like, I'm just wondering if that might have been part of the catalyst.
Yeah, that makes sense. We need to ask more questions.
We do.
Could I folklore this, like, to see if there's like magic items that send, like, make your memory, like if there's like memories that get imprinted on items.
We did that, and it was
did we?
basically when large amounts of magic is expelled, sometimes it imprints.
Okay.
Was it imprinting? Was the word you used?
That is the word for That is the word
for your
this,
system
yes.
here. Yeah.
Yep.
We did that.
Okay.
I remember that, but not a language that comes up every session.
It's almost like my mind is trained to hit marketing beats at this point.
It's been too long. He's fallen into the darkness.
That's a dystopia.
Yeah.
So yeah. Are you all just
Back to the town, yeah.
starting to head back? Okay.
When we get back, we should touch everything in case one of them has an imprint on it.
You know what, Kluft? Let that be your job. You start touching all the random things. Just don't
Yes,
take it all.
sir.
Just
I salute. Say yes, sir.
Boy, the ancestors, I do not like this. I'll be touching nothing.
oh no, you're standing way back in case something happens to us.
I do not think I have any treatments for the nefarious.
Better start coming up with some.
Do I look like a magician to you?
Oh, you look
These
like...
are magical affairs which are well beyond my ken.
Like you don't have a stovepipe hat, so you're not a magician.
I treat fevers, cuts, bruises. I do amputations sometimes.
Newton is legitimately in a stovepipe hat.
Then I turn around and look at Newton for a second.
Just can't think I'm a magician.
Any minute now, there's gonna be a
He
rabbit.
did make a zombie disappear.
That's very true. That's very true.
How long does it take us to get back to town, Roach?
When did you know that you wanted to become a magician?
Well,
Is it something you're born into, or do you just like decide one day? Because I was born into trash.
right. I'm trying. So
Family business.
I just rolled. I'm doing I'm doing a check here to see what's lying under. That's like skullduggery. Would you say that's skullduggery? Or is that is the deception? Guile is under fellowship. Either way, I rolled a 4. So.
Funny enough, I just rolled a 4 for the for transit.
Oh, that's weird.
Well.
Okay.
Yeah, that is really weird.
Well, I'm just going to start. So, well, I just wanted to. You know, I actually come from a long line of monks who are also magicians, and our order all wear these hats. And if you see a hat with a purple rim, it means that you are in the presence of a member of the Magicians League. It's a very secret organization, and I know
about the Magicians League.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, one of my I heard about this kid. He lived on the rich side of town, but his parents they've been running out of money. So whenever they got the magician for the kid's birthday party, they had to hire one of the ones off union, and a bunch of the Magicians Society they didn't like that at all. So when they came in, they made him disappear.
Well, some elements, yes, of the Magicians League are well known for taking kneecaps, but it's you know the saying. You there's
cement shoes.
Yeah. If you pay them, they disappear. If you don't pay them, you disappear.
Right into the hat. Yeah.
So, you actually got a very good roll when it came to your transit. So you do have to spend one night in the forest, which isn't going to be a problem because you have Ashen there and everybody else. You got enough to make do, but you arrive back at Low Hill around midday. And it is Low Hill. Nothing seems to have changed majorly between when you left and now.
Right, how do we want to split this investigation? I definitely feel like we need to talk to the mayor again.
Agreed.
I also think the woman who runs the inn, because I feel like she's been here a long time. Benjamin has only been here for, well, it's not all his life, I know that.
Wasn't it like 20 years though at this point?
Might be long enough.
Well, if we assume the battle happened 10, that's in his tenure. Well, we got Benjamin. We've also got just members that we could talk to the apothecary again. He might have something. He really helped with the Pale Riders.
We should also find out if there is a church here.
There isn't in this town, I think we know.
There isn't. Yeah, because the big ruin on the end of town is the old church that was burned down.
How did that burn down?
How long ago did that burn down?
You asked.
Fire.
Struck by lightning.
Must have been paying their dues.
I don't think any of you actually ever asked.
That's a question to ask.
Well, there we go then. We've got more. So,
in our defense, we didn't know that the burning of the church was going to actually mean anything. So, a burnt-out building is a burnt-out building.
It's true.
True.
Okay, let's split
the fact
up.
they haven't rebuilt it though is kind of.
Oh, okay, gang. Let's split up and look for clues.
Okay.
Gooby.
Zoinks.
No, someone can take that fucking pisshead Shaggy.
I will. Whilst I'm good at interrogating people, I'm not the most kind. So, someone with better sensibilities better go with me.
I'll go with you, Newton.
Okay. How else do you want to split? Jeska, should we go talk to the mayor again?
Are we trying to pair people with not nice people?
I was just. I know my social charm is a bit brash sometimes. I'm not making any assumptions about the rest of you.
Then don't take Jeska with you. You should take someone else. If you want someone. No offense, Jeska, but you're very mean.
You give me plenty of reason to be mean. Now fuck off.
This is kind of my point, though. Like, this is sort of
You're
what
giving
I'm
me
saying.
plenty of reason to
Come
be
on.
mean.
Come on, Kluft, you're with me.
Okay.
Just
So
go
am
listen.
I the mean one then? I tip my rags a little bit and put on a smile.
If you,
Spit my rag.
okay, so Kluft and Ashen, if you head to the inn and talk to our quest giver and the innkeep. How about Dagmar and Drakel? Well, how about you maybe check in with the apothecary again, ask any questions there, and maybe try to check around town. We'll meet back here in, say, an hour, if you have a way of keeping time. Jolly good. Break. Let's go.
Y'all look up and it's an overcast day. Ah,
Fuck. Well.
all right. So everybody split up.
Roach is
Cool.
about to fight all of us for splitting the party yet again.
Look, it's no problem to split the party, right?
Coo.
Fuck you.
Coo.
I had to run a whole campaign where the amount of time the party was together was
Less than an episode.
Technically the whole campaign.
Less than every episode, I'm pretty sure.
It was the opening and the finale of that campaign.
I think maybe.
And a couple of
Maybe.
meetings.
There were
Couple of team
multiple
meetings.
sessions. Yeah.
The planning meeting was everyone.
There you go. What more could you ask for?
Yeah.
Well. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's get. We'll go with.
Oh, Roach is gone. He just vanished.
We'll go with the end of all things.
Break time.
Yes. Well, we're 10 minutes off the break, so yeah, let's take an early break here, everybody. Join us back in 10 minutes.
He's back.
He's back. Oh, he's fine. He's fine. We'll.
He's fine. He's fine. Hold your brakes. Hold the door.
Maybe we should just take the break now anyway, and then.
Yeah.
Send it
I
rather
mean,
than-
yeah. So
Yeah, we should do it anyways because my internet's really screwing up. I think I'm gonna restart it and see what happens.
Well, yeah, we'll be back in 10 minutes time. Use this time, grab yourself a drink. Hydrate is key, and we will see you very soon. When is a story more than a story? When a tale is more than words on paper? When is an ad more than the script it's written on? In the darkest and deepest annals of our own history, worlds of wonder and splendor burst through like a blister made of hope. From the brain that's wrestled and riddled with madness, a radiant pustule. Writing, art, that's storytelling. That is the true lust of life. You too can beautifully indulge in art. Like fans of the greats. Shakespeare, King, Tolkien, Seuss, Mercer. You too can indulge through Twitch Prime. Get extended access to a wealth of knowledge with a simple click, an emotion so small that it could endlessly amount possibilities. Embrace those feelings. Support art. Support the component cast.
Drakoga. It's a city of dreams, they say. They might have even been right once upon a time. But now, it's a rotting, corrupt corpse on a hill. When the nation went dry, a few saw the potential, saw the money that was waiting for them. Now, you can't go a block without passing a speakeasy, even if you can't see it. And you'd be surprised just how many upstanding citizens you'll find at a table with a glass in their hands. These can't help but want money or power. Problem is when both of those mix away from the light of the law. Corruption, exploitation, and murder. It's all just another night in Drakoga.
Welcome back, everybody, to the second part of our broadcast tonight. We left off about to break to talk to random people.
We left off with a break.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to be picking up every single rock I find. Every single one. You never know, one of them might be magic.
So yeah, like I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted by the internet.
Overlords.
By the internet.
Skynet.
We're gonna start with Newton and I think it was Newton
Jeska.
and Jeska. Yeah.
Hi.
Alright, Jeska. This is an old recipe known as Good Inquisitor, Bad Inquisitor. And we're gonna go in and throw the book at them.
I think I've heard this one before, but we referred to it as Nice Night and Bad Night.
Oh no, so Bad Night has a different connotation because, it could be like, there's no bad night because of the plan.
Yeah.
Yes.
I get it, yes, but, that's the loose translation.
Either way, I'm gonna go all legal and law on them, whilst I'm hoping that maybe you can be the more... If that doesn't work and they're not forthcoming from it, you can be the more, reasonable one.
I'm decidedly better at being moderately charming.
Correct.
When the person involved isn't Kluft.
Look, I think you give the little Podswallop a little bit too much of a hard time. I agree that at first I was a little bit
He
taken aback by the trash creature, but he's warming on me,
Do you not remember the whole thing about calling all elves and all this sort of stuff?
Well,
like,
yes,
that's not something I'm going to just forgive.
See, one of the main problems with institutionalized racism is the lack of education around the subject. And I think we can make Kluft a better person the more we educate
Kluft
them.
great again.
We've just got to get through to him on his terms.
I am going to leave that to people who care. Because I've given up on him. I tried, but I don't have patience for that.
Touche.
Dagmar stands
I
with
give it a good
Kluft.
3 minutes.
But yes, I'll try and convince the mayor that being open with us will make things easier for him, which it will, to be honest.
Okay, let's go knock the door of the mayor's house then.
Okay, go on.
Boom, boom from my hands.
Yeah. All right. So, takes a minute. But you hear some movement on the inside, and then the door kind of clicks and opens, and you see the upsettingly lanky, tall man that you've come to know as the mayor of Low Hill.
Built like a stick bug.
Yes, Mr. Pauline. Harville Pauline.
Jeska had put her rings back on, by the way, the gold band and the signet.
Mayor Pauline, sorry to disturb you at this time of the evening.
It's fine.
Arvin, would you mind answering a few of our questions? Is there a place we can talk in a bit more private? We have some inquiries into our investigation that we think you might be able to help with.
Yes, that's fine. Come into the study.
Very good, very good.
Thank you.
Brings you in. And he's like, I normally can have you this meeting in the sitting room, but I was just in the middle of work. Just come with me. And he walks deeper into the house than you've been before. You kind of like taken past the sitting room into a hallway, and then off to a side hallway, and you end up in a small like personal library. It's both ends have bookshelves that are filled with old backed tomes and like a really like scuffed old writing desk with a chair in front of it is there, and he he motions to a few like small seats off to the side near a little like table. That'd be like for tea or something like that if you had a meeting in here. So, please sit.
I will remain standing, not only for, you know, this investigation, but for the sake of your furniture. Now,
I will sit.
He's purposely like opening his book of like his investigative logs and doing a big show of it. First of all, you've been mayor of the town for how long? I'm just trying to collaborate existing information, you know, clear things up. All part of the procedure.
Oh, I always say I was born for it.
Yes, but how long have you actually been in office?
As long as I can remember.
I'm going to need a date to that.
Oh, a few decades.
Okay, thank you. That wasn't so hard. Now, do you remember the conflict that happened in the woods towards here, maybe 10 years ago? Part of the greater schism wars that have been going on.
Dreadful
but there was
time.
Yes.
Dreadful time.
Could you tell us a little bit about the history of that around the battle?
I wasn't there.
No, but you were here. Surely it was close enough.
The battle didn't. I don't know if you understand. Battles don't normally take place within city limits.
No.
It's usually the sacking that takes place during that.
No. Okay.
Takes place
Did sacking occur?
You did see the ruins, the outskirts of town, and the old temple.
I'm not from here. It could have been natural, and because of the the ongoing state of the environment around here.
Buildings spontaneously bust all the time, Mr. Newton. I understand.
Okay, Mr. Mayor. A
Mr.
slightly
Mayor.
harder line of questioning for you now.
All right.
In this area, are there any natural relics that you know of? Any supposed sacred sites? Maybe an old pine tree, and I want to make sure. I want to see what happens when I mention the word pine tree.
The local area is primarily made of old-growth deciduous forest, though there are some pine groves here and there. Nowhere nearby, though. As for relics, I believe the rustic aesthetic of the village itself is a relic in and of itself, and very much worth coming here.
Well, it is a very quaint little place. It's quite
Quaint is a
homely.
good word, yes.
It's quite homely, I find.
Yes.
But I suppose,
Of course, to me
Right.
it is home, so homely works.
I suppose in the grander scheme of things, what Newton is trying to ascertain is, do you know of any supposed areas that were, say, dedicated to the wisdom of nature, or maybe had a connection with her, or anything of that anything of that kind of thing?
Well, there is a statue of Acha along with the rest of the five in the center of town. It's taken its own place as the ad hoc temple for the village. It's also where the various itinerant priests will hold services whenever they pass on through. So that's if you're looking for that.
Well, I was more thinking of like I suppose that the term would be unofficial worshipping sites.
Not that I'm privy to.
Are you a faithful man, Mr. Mayor?
I would say so.
Then what say you to the idea that your nearby lumber camp was attacked by forces of nature?
Well, I'd say that's a very interesting idea. While the lumber operation brought in much needed revenue for the village, I did not have ownership or run or dealt with the everyday of it. So it's possible they did something that would accrue the...
Because I'm standing and we're in his office. You said there's lots of poems and books around.
Yeah.
I want to, on the side, be looking for the ledger that's missing.
Okay, cool. Make a scrutinize check.
I just did.
Are you doing it? Are you
Could
okay?
I-
Are you
could I
doing
assist
it
No, you don't need to.
surreptitiously?
I just rolled a 1.
I was about to ask if I could assist by distracting the mayor with like the conversation that I'm trying to have, but no, never mind. He rolled a 1.
Yeah, because I was gonna give you the hardest. I was gonna give you one of the hardest checks, because if you were trying to do it without being spotted.
I'm timing it for when he's going off on, like, especially specifically about he's listing off the sites of worship and stuff before putting the question to him.
Yeah, no, you look around and like it's
Or just trying to figure out his own shit right now.
no, just trying to get things together here. No, you look around and you see this is a lot of very like an eclectic collection of books. Quite a few like reference tomes and history books and the like, here and there. A couple of like maybe like early novels, things like that. There's a couple of there's a lot of official documents on one side of the room and one like shelf, and there's quite a few like nondescript, like slim spined what probably were record books. You don't see anything that jumps out at you as a ledger.
Okay. So, despite them having a deal and bringing in revenue for the town, there was no outright land rights for the logging camp or anything that you had to oversee and sign as mayor of this location?
Well, the guild company owns the land that is bequeathed to them by the lord of...
And as the lord's representative, surely you saw that documentation, no?
I was presented with a writ of ownership, yes.
Mm-hmm.
This all seems fairly normal. I remember that's not all too uncommon from how things were done back home.
I wasn't there when it was signed by the Lord.
I mean, I'll be honest, Nathan, that seems pretty much on point.
So nothing that I saw is out of the ordinary here.
You don't see a ledger.
No. Okay, no, okay.
Not...
So nothing else caught my eye. It's all just history books and such.
I mean, like I said, it's very eclectic.
Okay,
in that sense.
like
there's no real rhyme or reason for a lot of this stuff. Like there's things like,
okay, then you're saying history
like
books and things?
crustaceans of the north, right next to right next to the gods of heaven. Like two.
There's also not like there's not a thing on the Fae or anything, is there?
Oh yeah, no, there's a couple of tomes on that. Fairies and You, the like equivalent.
Fairies for dummies.
No book on how to summon a demon. You know. That's,
well, there's an odd book bound in the skin of the human flesh, but we don't
I'm just saying there's nothing that looks like a cult, anything that's like not
I mean, there's a book that's called The Long Road and Its Denizens, and the Long Road is the name for kind of the equivalent of the underworld in this setting. But that's
not the Necromonicon or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm nothing like that.
Not like I'm gonna go. Oh, this isn't just going mad reading it. It's not like okay.
More mad.
Yeah, not a title that makes you go crazy reading the title.
Yeah.
It's an incomprehensible tome.
Sounds normal to me. You seem a very you seem a man who has a lot of interest, Mr. Mayor. Do you have any particular favorites among your collection? And she looks over at the books.
Oh, I send off for these. I don't get many chances to leave the village, so I like to read about other things.
Mr. Mayor, you didn't sound surprised when I said that the lumber crew were attacked by nature. Why was that?
Well, Benjamin's looked it over, and he hadn't found any other reasons that the attack had happened. It had just been attacked. So, honestly,
so if I came to you with the idea that, say, the foreman had been raised from the dead, you're not surprised by that at all. You feel that is something that could comfortably have happened here.
I wouldn't use those words at all. I would be surprised and I wouldn't feel comfortable.
Well, the foreman was raised from the dead. Do you have any inkling what was going on?
You.
I will back up that statement, as will everybody else among the group.
Do you want to see his ashes after I doused him in holy oil?
Water.
Holy stuff.
Look,
Well,
Mr. Mayor, I feel like you need to start becoming a little bit more forward with me, and I am going to try and invoke interrogation at this point.
Okay. And explain.
So,
Explain. He lost his dice is what happened.
if there is anything you are hiding from us that is getting in the way of our investigation, then I would be forthcoming with it now. Otherwise, the laws that uphold your position of comfortable office here will not be enough to save you.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. Again, what does interrogation, if you're invoking that one, is?
It's just a skill, so it's like
a skill. Okay, cool. I thought that was a talent.
no. It's the skill. I'm trained in interrogation. It's the
okay. Go ahead and roll it.
And I'm going to use one of our rerolls because that was not good.
Okay, cool.
I mean, you could always reroll it. Remember, we have those things.
Which is what I did, and that is a 29, and I needed a 54.
Ooh, okay, I'm gonna use the reroll that I got because you used a reroll.
It is now gone. The point is now gone.
The point is now vanished from the economy.
Oh god, is this gonna be counterspell my counterspell, and I'm gonna count?
Yeah.
There we go. That's a 180. I went from an 88 to an 8.
Oh. So it's whoever's closest to their skill, because this is opposed, which is still me winning.
He has a very bad lying skill.
Okay. What's his okay.
He has a 21.
Oh.
So now we've got to work out who's closer. Am I closer with a 28 to a 54 than he is with an 8 to a thing? No.
No, you're not.
He's like a 13, I think, isn't it, or something?
Yeah, he's like 13 away. He's like 1 degree of success away.
You're at least 2. You're like close to 2. Yeah.
Yeah. I think in both cases he would still win because he got because if we use the regular thing, he still rolled lower and he got a better degree of success. Well, he rolled lower.
He rolled lower, but he got a worse degree of success.
Yeah, so it's kind of like I'm just gonna roll. I'm gonna.
Do you want to roll it off? Should we do rollies? You want to rollies this? You want to rollies this?
Yeah, get a D6. Get a D6. We'll just say it's so close. Just get a D6. We're gonna see what Arvil rolls as a D6. We're gonna do that.
Yeah, okay.
We're gonna do that. We're reducing the game to D6s now. We've
At this point, Jeska's sitting there watching this happen.
We're playing a rules light investigation sim.
This is just how there's relationship combat now going.
Yeah. 3.
2.
Spend a point to re-roll it.
Stop losing, bro. Just stop losing.
That's fine.
Stop losing, Mitch.
I'll only try it.
I'm not lying.
And so you
not
were. I feel like you're
lying.
not being forthcoming, however.
I'm not withholding anything. I don't know what's going on, which is why I was okay with Benjamin spending what little money we have on trying to aid you in figuring out what's going on.
You see,
In a convoluted way, you're technically employed by me.
I suppose. But listen, it's all been very strange around here because obviously none of us are from this region. We're not from this town. We have no
Everything
idea.
seems normal to me.
That would actually probably make it worse from Jeska's point of view if he said that. Anyway, things are odd even for this, well, existence. It's feeling like there's something that's in the way. There's something that we're all missing, and we're trying to figure out what that is. And we need your help to find that.
I have
There has
helped
to-
you in every
Final
step
thing
of the
from my
way.
scrutinize earlier though, Roach, is anything in asbestos? Is there anything in Latin on this wall that would tell me that
Oh,
he can
yeah.
read it?
Oh yeah, there's a couple of books that have titles in Oldest Spurdi.
Final question. Mr.
Well, we understand that you're helping us, but what Newton is, I think, trying to get at is he thinks there's something that you're overlooking, something that to you is so minor that doesn't stand out, but to us it could be a big detail.
Right. So then I will point out that if that's the case, then how would I innately know what is necessary for you to know to succeed? If it's so small that I wouldn't understand that. We're going into a recursive pattern here.
I'm trying to figure out what we're missing. What could we be missing around here?
How's your older Sparta, Mayor?
A spur die.
A Sparta, Mayor? Better than mine, clearly.
Passable?
Would you? I made a note of the text in Otis, but I'm gonna show him that. Could you translate this for me? I'm a little rusty.
he brings
Pulls out a pair of reading glasses.
No, that's exactly what happens. He like opens his little vest pocket, and very tiny reading glasses come out that are just like tiny bits like on there. He just rests them on the bridge of his nose and looks down. The ones that from gaseous bonds bring shallow.
Does he actually look like he's struggling?
The owed money. I've rolled for him. Yes, he looks like he's struggling.
Well, no, I was just gonna say I'm
owed-
trying to work out if he's failing this like on purpose or not.
Like if he's
The owed
legitimately
money and the blood of life. Nope. Life force of life force. Blood for blood. For the wealth gained by lies, deceit, something like that. Context matters. I'm not good with that. By bitter water, probably poison, I think. The last one's poetic, I'm not sure. It's been a while.
We are let loose from gossamer bonds to bring low those who owe a debt. Blood for blood, for the treasure gained by deceit may it be a poison ever sweet.
ominous poetry.
Yes, and it's quite interesting that this was found on a tree near the logging camp, and that ever since this area has started to progress further into the forest, that nothing has happened except suffering. Your crops are dying, your people are dying. Do you not see that this is an issue, and if there is something that you are not telling us, something that happened, a major event, something local that caused an inkling, anything that to you was sent a shiver down your spine or gave you that uneasy gut feeling, you need to tell us.
I'm trying to help you, but nothing is jumping out at me. I don't know what would have caused any of this. It's been fairly... I mean, nothing's normal. We're in wartime, and years ago we were on the front lines. Things were chaotic.
Okay.
I was very taken with managing the village and stopping it from burning down. But other than that, I don't know what happened out there.
Final question. Has this started to decline since you were on the front lines? Is that when it all kind of started to you?
It's no one event. Things just happen. It's been bad. It's been a bad decade.
Again, 10 years. Everything seems to be declining since that 10 years ago. Question. Final one then. The interior of the church. Was there an altar? Was there anything made of pine?
Pine... Possibly. It was here long before I was. I wasn't... I'm not an architect. I don't know.
Fine.
Do you remember what the altar was made of? Is it stone? Was it wood?
It was years ago, and there was always a cover on it. I would never gave sermons.
What happened to the
You'd
old
have to
priest?
burn down with it.
Oh. Poor fellow.
Yep,
Not a nice way to go.
it is not.
I'm thinking, which is unfortunate. We've taken up a lot of your time, Mr. Mayor Newton. Do you have anything else you'd like to ask before we let the man do his work?
Or accuse me of anything else?
That will be all, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for your time.
When
I trust you know your way out.
When Newton turns to leave, Jeska just goes, "I'm sorry for that."
It's fine. Stress gets to us all in one way or another. We'll have to have our ways of letting it all out.
Well, I hope we can help your town. So,
As do I.
She'll stand up, give her head a soft bow, take off the rings, and then leave. Put those away, and then leave.
All right.
You think we got anything of use, Newton? Once they're outside the building.
I just wanted to, before I fully left, because he didn't leave the office with us, I wanted to quickly peer in the room where the fireplace was. Just wanted to check.
Yeah, the sitting room.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you
Is
trying
that-
to look for?
Just one, I want to check if it is actually a hardwood and not a softwood for the mantelpiece. We need to double check. And if there is just anything off, considering didn't Kluft say they saw
A ghost in the window.
Yeah.
Seems like a mahogany mantelpiece.
That's fine.
And it looks like a kind of dusty, slightly creepy sitting room with odd, disconcerting pictures.
Do the eyes follow you?
Yes.
No, it's more. Oh, you weren't here whenever we went over what was in there. There's like there's a portrait of a lanky young child that is like wearing like Victorian-esque garb and just like staring like forward, like sitting not center. Portrait.
No. Oh no.
Then
do they look very pale?
Yeah, they look fairly pale. Yeah. And then there's another picture, or there's another painting that's just a covered bridge over a river in kind of like a dark forest, but it's not the center of the picture, or it's not the center of the portrait, or the painting. It's like off to the side, and it's the bottom third of the portrait, and then it's just a lot of blank sky above it. Just nothing's like matching up. Like everything's kind of like off slightly.
Does this picture look like, as was the Victorian style, one of those posed death paintings?
It could be.
There's no great pine tree or anything in the landscape picture, is there?
Make a scrutinize check.
Ooh, 21.
21.
And I need for scrutinize, I need 55, so.
You like look, and you're kind of like, like appraising the painting. It's hard because the only thing that really stands out is this white and red covered bridge, so it kind of like draws your eye, even though it's not the center of the painting. But as you try and like focus on it and look around, you do see does look like a pine forest instead of a deciduous forest that the bridge is located in.
Does this bridge look like the bridge that was destroyed that we crossed to get here?
No, it's wooden.
Just before I leave, I'm gonna go back. Sorry, Mr. Mayor. I really love your artwork. You know where that landscape painting's of? It's beautiful.
No, I'm afraid those were all acquired by my late father.
Mayor,
I keep them up there for nostalgia's sake.
From around here too? Your family?
The landscape, I'm not sure. It's always just been there. I've always found it very visually pleasing. The composition's nice. And then the other one, obviously, my portrait.
Very, very good. Thank you. Sorry about that as well. It's I get wrapped up in the formalities, and I leave.
Once we're outside, like, Jeska closes the door behind her, pats Newton on the shoulder. You think we got anything useful?
Only to confirm that everything that is going awry started around the time of that battle. But there is multiple layers to this. I do not feel like we are on. I feel like we have multiple answers to multiple investigations. And he is... I was about to go to Plan C, which is throw the Book of Tim in the literal sense and knock him out while we look around.
Bit extreme.
Yes,
yeah,
I know.
You're better off just asking me to distract him.
I stopped that when I remembered he's the one paying us. By the way.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Money.
Oh shit! We don't get paid if he's.
Wait, who's gonna pay us now?
He's still paying us, apparently.
I hope the others have gotten on better than we have.
Speaking of which, we go to D&D. So Drakel and Dagmar.
Okay. I was gonna say. Roll for initiative.
We transfer back through like dimensions and systems, and we're back in D&D all of a sudden.
Well, I was thinking the writers of Game of Thrones.
It was a multi-layered joke. It could have gone either way.
We go
what
back
we
through
do is we go with people who can actually write.
Yes.
Wrote.
Yeah,
What?
and then we also fall back through the system, and it's just okay. So Rivellon and Justinia, what are you doing?
No, it's just the two
Guys,
types.
it's a multi-layered joke.
The difference
It's a
between the two
multi-layered
types.
joke. It goes D&D, so it goes to D&D, Justinia, and Rivellon. Then goes they start a Game of Thrones campaign. So it's just those two in Game of Thrones. They just appear
As long as I end
outside
up
of
Daenerys,
Winterfell.
early Daenerys when she's not insane, but Daenerys.
So, you two went off on your own to go and question. Well, to go and do what, actually? What was the plan? What were you wanting to go ahead and do?
We were kind of just given rather vague orders. We was just told to go around the town questioning people. So,
And talk to the apothecary again.
talk to the apothecary again. Okay, we're
Get
going to
the
go talk
clubs
to
out,
the
boys.
apothecary.
Time to start questioning folk.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are we trying to get here? Are we
I
just
guess
doing
more
the history of the
information.
battle? Or...
Yeah, maybe the battle, but more likely we're gonna have to bring up the whole thing with the zombie as well. Probably.
Zombie. Yeah, I'm just, it helps if you have like a point of attack.
A game plan to go in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Why didn't we just try to cut down the tree?
Right, listen here. I don't think the apothecary's in on this. I suspect that his compound was honestly made, and someone else is the one who's trying to take advantage, if that makes sense. Like, we investigated him before, so I think he's off the sheet there. I'm not sure how useful the information might be that he might have in regards to the whole zombie thing that we saw that still sends shivers down my spine. What else do you think we should be questioning him on? Perhaps his relationship with the mayor?
Well, first I think we should ask him about his concoction. Because he knows what it does short term to plants. But obviously, some things happened in the area. Could it have been adapted to work on animals who would have that kind of knowledge?
Well, it would be retreading over old ground, I suppose. Why not?
Yeah,
Shall we?
the last time we spoke to him, he'd just been gotten out of a mind, so you know.
That's true.
He might be a bit more clear-headed this time.
Okay. I would like to clarify, for the sake of Midgeman's amazingly vague orders, or what not Midgeman, his characters. We are going to, if we don't get anything fruitful from the apothecary, Dagmar is genuinely going to follow those orders to the letter and just start randomly putting people from the street.
We're just trying to canvass for the local history at this point.
Set up a small table and a chair on the other side.
What's the name of the village?
You're being run by an evil madman. Prove me wrong.
I think part of the problem is that we don't even know where to
Low Hill.
start. Like we don't know what we're asking about.
We
You know?
need 2 chairs or 3 chairs, a table, and a sign saying "Low Hill sucks." Change my mind.
Yeah, that's it.
Ha ha ha.
What? I'm going to put it in the middle of the village. I'm a 6'6" walking freaking armored serpent. I think I'll be okay.
Alright, let's get ourselves to the apothecary then.
All right. You know the way. You've
I
been
just
there
don't
before.
think this is going to be very fruitful.
Neither do I, mate. But we've got to try. We've got to try. We were given extremely vague orders by an ogre.
Wanting to split the pie up.
Yep. Well, yeah, you have to because I'm GMing.
Wait, you guys split the party up when I was GMing. You didn't hear me complain?
No, but there's a distinct difference in the fact that everybody in that had radios.
That didn't work because you guys didn't even friggin' use them.
Splitting the party isn't like, I don't know if you guys, like, it's not a bad thing. It's not something that's...
We just always do it.
It's just it's a running joke because of our last campaign where I think 15 out of the 17 sessions we were not one party.
In fairness, I mean, like, if you're doing any sort of questioning like this, it's really hard not to split the party because you don't need everybody there, you know?
Yeah, we had that last campaign was an investigation mystery kind of thing. It was the fact that at one point I think every single player was in a different location.
Yes.
For an entire episode, so it's just running everything. So yeah, multiple parties. So you go to the apothecary's shop, and you see the doors kind of like half propped open and there's somebody's just exiting right when you arrive. And yeah, you walk in and you see Hester. Tending to a couple of plants as you walk in.
Esther?
Oh, hello.
Drakel.
Drakel? How goes it?
You know.
The leg? How's the leg doing?
Oh, don't worry about the leg. The leg the leg is fine. We don't talk about the leg.
All right.
We don't talk about the leg, otherwise the DM gets moaned at about putting me in a combat situation. So we've got a couple of questions. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll ask away.
Okay.
What do you?
We may have run into something in the forest. On
your way to the village, with the elven village?
Yeah, basically. And it was of the kind of undead variety.
Say that again.
Undead.
That's... Are you sure?
It took a vial of holy water to the side of the head to kill it. Yeah, we're pretty sure.
I can frame this more for our terms. As a herbalist practitioner, I can confirm it is my herbalistic opinion that he was indeed dead. He was no more and was animated by means other than natural.
Undead.
Well, given the fact that there's no one better that could ascertain whether or not someone's alive or dead than a herbalist.
Well, apothecaries are just basically herbalists.
Yes. Then, all right, that's disconcerting, but
so, given that you're
evaluating life,
yes, given that you're
no, it is. It's like that. Sorry.
Given that your work has been to increase plant size, and you've had multiple failures, is that correct?
yes, it's very unstable. Cellular degradation is very common in the later stages of application. They don't tend to survive that long.
Right. Could the one that worked or any of the others have gotten out?
We've gone over this. They possibly, but it wouldn't. Any of the failures wouldn't have been able to germinate. They were already dead, so they couldn't have passed it on. Successes haven't left this structure, and none of them are currently alive anyways, because they were short growth period plants to test quickly. It would be unlikely. I mean, it's possible, but it'd be unlikely.
And there's no way it could cause anything we've experienced here, not the big wolves or anything like that. or a person being reanimated as a corpse.
Definitely not that. Definitely not that. That'd be. I'd believe the wolf thing far more easily compared to undead. This causing undeath.
Okay, so I'm going to just interject here. We don't. Well, I think we can safely exclude your refined compound, but what are the possibilities that some of the sources that you're using are having this effect on the animals?
Nothing's new. It's all local. Nothing's been introduced to the environment. It's just been certain aspects have been tweaked, combined, refined, and distilled. So it wouldn't. They're already naturally occurring within the environment. So if there was an effect like this, it would have already presented, I would suspect. I'm more interested in the zombie thing. Can I have context on why, where, when? Can I get more context?
It was the lumber mill foreman. We found it. This is not him anymore. It wasn't it.
Right.
And we went to investigate the lumber yard, and that's when we found it. And
just out in the middle of nowhere, just walking around.
No, it was definitely the lumber thing. I am remembering correctly here, right?
So we were at the lumber camp, and we then walked to a tree in the forest, an ancient tree. Ashen read some Latin script, and then it appeared in the fog.
Okay. Yeah, full of something like that. So
Old Asperdi. You would refer to it as Old Asperdi.
Yeah, at the lumber camp, one of our companions we found an old tree, spoke in one of the ancient languages, Old Asperdi, and that's when the foreman revealed itself. The zombified remains of the foreman.
Amazing. Did it leave anything? Did you?
And yes, it left ashes. As soon as holy water was applied to the zombie, it disintegrated into ashes.
And the sprig. Tree sprig.
And we've also got the tree sprig as well.
I can't give you any information. I can't tell you anything about zombies or anything else like that. Magic.
To circle back to the compound, have you shared any of the more, rather than just simply the physical results, have you shared any of the process with anyone? Discussed it with anyone who might have taken your experimentation to other means?
No one that would take it. No, I mean I've discussed the process in vague terms with the mayor.
The mayor, okay. Does he strike you as a scientific mind?
Oh, he's very smart, but no, he's not. He's not a scientist. An apothecary. He wouldn't hurt a fly.
No, that's fine. It's just we're trying to come up with some sort of theory. We're just trying to see if it could have possibly the knowledge that you might have leaked out, because I'm pretty confident we can rule that you had any part to play in the wolves. It's more, my suspicion is someone else, whether intentionally or no, may have been doing similar experiments after finding out about your process that's then affected the animals.
Yes, I haven't discussed it with anyone other than the mayor, and that was nothing very specific. I just knew that I was trying something new. It was a topic of conversation over dinner.
When was this?
maybe a month and a half ago. That's when I just started.
Did you ask for any help with ingredients or anything like that?
No, he wouldn't be able to help with that. He's not much of a green thumb. I procure my own. Nobody in the village is really adept at this kind of work, so I don't trust them to do it as much. Yeah, I'm not. I wish I could help you more, honestly. I could tell if you need any help with that zombie sprig. I can give it a look over.
There's definitely an option that we'll speak to the rest of our party about. You couldn't help us with more knowledge on nefarious objects, as you would like to describe them. Strange things that when you touch them, it seems to send some of our party members into these strange visions of the past. By the ancestors, that's not natural, but you might perhaps know of myths or legends about
Just
that sort of thing.
I'm looking at his. He just rolled something. I'm looking at his folklore. Lucky bastards. He succeeded a folklore check.
He succeeded every folklore check we've asked him to do.
True, but this had a lot of negatives to it. And he beat that new number by 1. Oh, there's... you could be talking about... there's a couple of stories my homeland have about these objects of power that have been imbued with memories. What would they be in common? An imprint or or the like. I've heard of them. What was a story device and a couple of tomes that I've read, but nothing specific. I wouldn't be surprised if what's said about them is true, then this would definitely be a place that would have a few. So, anything else you might need?
No. I think we need to invoke Plan B, mate.
Get the nails.
Plan B? What was that?
Plan B means we're finished here. Thank you very much for your time.
All right. Oh! It's been a few days. 1 second. He goes to the counter, and then under the counter, and you hear him rustle around a little bit, and pops back up. I wasn't able to make a full potion of anything in the time since you've been here, anything of note, but I'm in the process of getting reagents together to restock my wares. He points to the empty shelves behind him. I've set aside a couple. Do you have anything you might want as a group? I can provide something for a pretty significant discount. It's at the stage now where I kind of do what I need to do. I have the base finished. I just need to add the rest. Is there anything an apothecary could provide you that you might wish to have, or a substantial discount?
We'll get back to you.
All right. Well, do so sometime within the next day or two.
Bye-bye.
We'll
Have a good
speak to
day.
the others.
Good day.
Thank you. Yeah, plan B.
Plan B.
Set up a desk in the middle of town. Change my mind.
All right.
Debate me. I just don't see much use from the apothecary. I think got a bit of information there, but nothing really.
Nothing that really makes any
that
difference.
we already didn't know. The other person we could speak to is maybe Benjamin, but I think we've again already spoken to him. I'm trying to think of who else there is.
Of people you know in the town or in the
Yeah.
village, there's
Who
Benjamin.
who's the one who first pointed us in the direction of lumber camp?
The sheriff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Benjamin.
Was the sheriff? Yeah.
So yeah, the of the NPCs you know in town, there is there's Benjamin Klosser, there's Arvel Pauline, Hester, Deanna Globan, and the old woman who does her jobs for various jobs poorly.
Old beggar woman.
Doesn't beg, she's got to hustle. She just doesn't, she's not very good at it. Those are the NPCs you know, like, as named NPCs.
I just feel like we're missing something here that would point us in a better direction. We've missed something. That's what I feel. I feel we've missed something, probably because we kind of skipped over the whole Rat King thing. It's put us off.
Rat
We
King
jumped
thing
ahead
is
a bit too quickly.
No, I think the Rat.
that's a separate thing.
That's a separate quest. Yeah.
That's a separate thing. I think in this one we're definitely missing something. I think.
So
Well, remember the world doesn't operate via quest, right? Like, things get
We
connected.
have a hidden
well,
objective.
we feel like there's a tenuous link there anyway. Well,
Yeah.
Newton does, but like I've been okay. As Midgeman the player and Newton the character have been doing textual analysis of what we have, the clue we got from the tree. So I will just say this now because I feel like it will help, just us along, and a reminder because it's been 2 weeks. So the phrase was, "We are let loose
your
from."
handwriting.
We are let loose from. This is actually worse than it normally is. I haven't handwritten anything in ages. We are let loose from gossamer bonds to bring low those who owe a debt, blood for blood. For the treasure gained by deceit, may it be poison ever sweet. So, number one, we. Who are we? We think that's the Pale Riders. Gossamer bonds being the fog. So 3, bring low. So stop, put a stop to. Kill, even perhaps, in this case. Pretty big chances that that's the answer. Number 4, debt. Debt implies a bargain was struck somewhere because someone is owed something. Whether this had been a verbal bond or just an expectation, not sure. 5, blood for blood. It again, eye for an eye, vengeance for vengeance. Something was harmed or killed, and now they are taking their fill in blood. Number 6, treasure. Something dear to whoever wrote this has been taken, whether that be gold, resources, some sort of treasure. Gained by deceit. Deceit means someone lied or stole something. May its poison be ever sweet. Part of this curse is, poisonous. It could be what's killing the land around it. So, I have a few theories. The guilds made a debt, went bad on it. Something was killed in the combat 10 years ago, and the nature is lashing out. Also, we have multiple options over here of who they are. I have, so the victim is either the forest itself, a forest spirit, the wisdom of nature, or it could be something that is someone who is like a druid or a shepherd of the forest. They could have lost a loved one, a child. It could be anything as low as that. We don't have to extrapolate that we are dealing with some fey spirits. It could be someone who is just naturally inclined and left into an old home. Then we have the criminals or the instigators, which is either the townspeople, the mayor, the lord, or these guilds. There's multiple options there. And the ways to stop it we have are either destroy these spirits in some way and put a stop to them by, finishing the job and stopping their vengeance, or returning what was taken, because this treasure seems to mean a lot to them, or at least bringing peace or closure to that option. Discuss.
Firstly, as chief board and red string skater, I'm so very proud.
Because
Yeah,
this
that
is our
gives us an
biggest
idea,
clue.
but-
It's our biggest clue, but we just can't find. Basically, it's what we're trying to find out is who the victims truly are and who the criminals truly are, because we've got multiple options for them. And once we have those, we can go, oh shit, that's really okay. Because we haven't got the beginning and we haven't got the end. We've got all of the fill though.
Yeah.
We're licking the jam out of the sandwich, like.
Nice.
I didn't need that mental image.
No, I really did.
I liked
really
it.
did. Yeah, I've been desperate for something like that for a while now. Thanks, Mitch.
So with all these questions, we need to find out when people think stuff started going bad around here. Can anyone divulge any extra information on that? And another thing, well, I mean, it's something that will, the actual guilds element of it, unless you think your character also could have come up with that, is probably something we need to all discuss and chase from whatever answers we get from this. Anyway, carry on.
Thank you, Mitch.
Sorry. It's been 2 weeks and I've been, like, my head is like, we need to...
I'm gonna go out on a limb here. The only characters so far in the town itself that seem to have proven any sort of like use in terms of like we could extract useful information have so far been the herbalist, the mayor, and the sheriff.
Yeah.
Like just straight up them three.
And two of those people hired us, and the other one was trapped in a mine. Like,
Yes. So, I feel like we kind of drained most of the useful information out of the herbalist. I just don't have anything else to bring him to extract anymore, other than like the folklore that we just got, which merely confirms what we already knew. You guys are dealing with the mayor in a minute, but we don't really have anything to bring to the sheriff to either threaten or inspire or cajole or extract anything.
I've got an idea when we go to see Deanna, Ashen, and Kluft.
I just,
Okay.
you know what I mean? I feel like we're really missing something here.
But
That
I've got a plan to tell me.
it's just, I'm trying to figure out what it could be and where we would find it. What have we missed?
What have you missed? What text dialogue option is still not grayed out?
the other thing that will help us is if we find this missing ledger, because that will tell us what the debt was or what the deal was.
That's, I think, the key piece that we need to figure out.
That's why I was looking for it at the... We might need to do some B&E.
I mean, the guild probably have it, or whoever it is that was running the
Well,
thing.
the thing is, the investigation was cleared up by Benjamin and the mayor, was it not?
Oh, then the mayor, then the sheriff has it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mayor wouldn't be holding it.
Because the reason it wasn't there, one of the reasons it wasn't there was, you know, was that before we got there, this site was investigated by the mayor and the sheriff, and
Yeah, we still haven't
the
talked.
official-
Like, we still haven't talked to a bunch of people, so there's still stuff to be done.
also half of them got ambushed by Ratkin, we think. So the other useful people are a little bit preoccupied elsewhere.
They're a little dead. You know?
All right, so
We think.
all right then.
We hope.
Ashen and Kluft then.
To the bar.
To the bar.
Okay.
All right.
Count me in. So what-
Actually,
Uh-huh.
Kluft, do you mind if we make a quick detour?
Sure. Why? Where do you want to go?
I want to go and see the church.
Okay, sure. As we go there, I'm gonna pick up every rock, and then stand for a second, and then drop it to the ground, and like pick up bits of junk and stuff. Stop for a second, and then drop it to the ground.
Yep.
Okay. Yep.
Anything yet?
Nothing yet, but I'll keep trying. You never know.
It's just dawned on me what Clough's doing.
Never do.
I'm trying to find memories.
Oh, that sounds really wholesome.
Yeah.
Wow. Kluft is so innocent.
Yeah.
It's gonna be really sad whenever he finally crashes and burns.
No, Kluft is the only one surviving. We all know it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody's gonna get killed in an end somewhere, and Kluft's just gonna come out of like the stable somewhere. And say, where is everybody?
No, Kluft wasn't allowed in the inn because he's, you know, we're just in there. We all get shanked.
So yeah, if you you head over to the past the center of town, and just kind of like on the edge of this like central part, you see a kind of a burned out husk of a building. If you want, I could even like show you kind of a general idea of like the size and.
So, technically, I'm not allowed in a church. If this one's been burnt down, I think it should be okay.
I think you'll be fine in this one.
Okay.
Can I get my?
I'm just saying that if an angry priest comes around with a big cane, you have to take the cane in, not the.
That's fine. I'm gonna. Ashen's got their holy symbol out.
Okay, cool. If whoever is streaming this on the Discord wants to join in, I can show a general approximation of what the church is. It's not a super large one.
Well, I think we've all discovered that the church is really important. There's a map for it, which means...
I recognize this map from our trailer.
I'm just waiting for...
Which end of town's the church?
It's the one...
Oh, found it. I found it.
Yeah. Waiting for Rival to join in.
Is it nighttime right now in our investigation?
No, it's later midday. I mean, if I there we go. I forgot to apply.
Let there be light.
What's the other side?
God said, yes, there be light. I do love these assets, though. They look so pretty in this kind of map.
There we go.
I love watching the fireplaces. If we can get there, we go.
Okay. So yeah, if the burned out section, the burned out building, kind of on its own, over, if I can like, where my little measuring sphere is at, is the church in town. So it's a little off to the side, near the center, like little square of town. As you go and check it out, what did you want to do?
So what I'm looking for is any sort of relics or iconography that's still visible, and the altar.
The altar. We'll go ahead and make an awareness check. And if Kluft's aiding, then you could...
Well, actually, I'll continue to leave no stone unturned, and then I'm going to like look through the place, and I specifically am going to be looking for like objects, like items and stuff like that.
I'll say that's still an aid. I'll say it's an aid. So you could roll your 10th die, and that can be substituted with Ashen's.
I rolled a 10, so that's good.
That is very good.
Rolled really well.
Right, I rolled a 27, but I will take that 10 for a 17.
17, cool. That's good. Yeah, so you both sift through the ruins of this building, and you can tell that this wasn't like a large church. This is, this is a country church. It was a little bit more than just a basic country church, because you can definitely tell that at least the first floor kind of section was not wooden, it was stone. So at least the foundation, or maybe a quarter, or at least a half of the wall was stone, but you can definitely tell some parts of it had multiple stories as well, because you can see the remnants of a second story floor still around. 1 second, just gonna town day. Just gonna do that. But as you look through, you can definitely tell that this was a fire that had not been fought off. It was just kind of allowed to burn through. So it got hot enough, at least in some sections, that you can definitely see some of these stones, or at least maybe parts of the very original foundation, mud brick, have melted slightly. Got that hot. Most of the wood is gone. Glass, if there was any, you can't see any in the window, what remains of the windows. And most of the walls have crumbled down. There's a couple of pillars still kind of sticking out, but it's definitely been here long enough that roots and plants and stuff are starting to take back the area. So it's a very old ruin.
Is it growing in here any better than the rest of the village or the outskirts?
Not particularly. It's just kind of it just looks like overgrowth. Just general overgrowth. If anything, it's worse because it's trying to fight stone. The remnants of a stone foundation. It's just kind of coming up through the cracks and stuff. As for items, well, I can definitely say that you don't find a remnant of an altar. You can definitely see where the altar used to stand, because that had a stone base to it, at least, or it was sitting on a stone base. That definitely you can tell the outline of an altar-sized stone base is still inlaid into kind of a slightly raised section in the back of the church, which would have been where a priest would have done their sermons. But the actual altar, isn't here.
Okay. Is there any
ash or charcoal?
There's ash everywhere. It's in the sense that there's bits and pieces of burnt wood and stuff kind of everywhere. Nothing.
But it indicates that the altar was wood.
You could assume.
Is there any burnt husks of chalices or anything like that, or objects?
Go around and you're looking for items, specific items, stuff. You get you definitely find a couple iron remnants of what might have been door hinges, or a bit of hardware that the knocker on a door would have been on, that the door itself is burned away, but the knocker is just kind of charred iron.
Are there any cellars? Is there a cellar door? If I go looking around
as far as you can tell, it looks like a solid foundation. At least you're not seeing anything that goes underground. With that roll, yeah, you don't find any
often
filled in.
Often priests will keep a big basement so they can store all their donations there. They don't have to give it to the tax man. That's what Big Tail always told me. That's why he says he robs them.
I will agree with you. Churches usually have some sort of underneath. It's usually to keep bodies, to bury people.
And we saw a body just the other day.
Have we seen a graveyard or anything, Roach?
Yeah, you have. There's a graveyard in town. It's not too far away from the area that this map covers. It's just not, obviously not very well traveled. It's towards the edge of the town. You know, kind of just a village graveyard. Nothing like, nothing too fancy. Just a lot of, a few stone, headstones, but mostly wood, mostly wooden headstones, as befitting the economic situations of most of the people in the village.
Which one of these is the mayor's house?
Mayor's house is the one with the garden with the roses in the front.
Oh, so right next door to all of this.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just a little abstracted, but yes.
Yeah. And the apothecaries is
the green glowing one.
Copy that. I don't know which one is glowing green, but I'll find it. Oh yes, I found it.
Yeah.
Yes, that'll do it.
Okay. Kluft, will you give me a minute, please?
Okay, sure.
Just hear clacking of stones as he goes away and just keeps like picking one up and throwing it, picking one up and throwing it.
Yeah. Looking at the bottom underside of it and then throwing it away.
Okay.
Ashen is going to kneel in front of where the altar was, take out a holy symbol and the piece of the pine sprig, and just kneel for a minute or two. See if anything. See, catches anything or thinks of anything.
Okay. All right. The wisdoms favor you. I just rolled twice and I got both things within 5 of each other. I'm gonna do 100. Yes. It's odd because this is a holy site, so it's definitely been at some point. This was consecrated ground. This was, but unlike regular churches or holy ground for most wisdom sites, this is different because it does have a lot of tragedy to it, but nature is retaking it, which is somewhat befitting for your specific adherence. It definitely makes it feel a little bit more in keeping with one of the wisdoms over the others. And so you're a little comforted by that, even though this was a site of probably a very traumatic event, but it definitely feels like it's being like it's healing itself in a way because of its situation. Did you think? Obviously, it's not a divine inspiration or anything, but you do feel like you're close. You have what you need. You feel like you just need to figure out the right question to ask the right individual. It's like that thing where you know, like, I know this. I know we know what we need to know. We just need to get that next step. It's kind of what you feel as you take a minute. Yeah, and Kluft, you find a silver piece on the ground.
Ah!
I've just been rolling random loot tables.
Did I get any memories?
You remember the last time you picked up money and you got chased by some guards for about half a day?
All right. But it's not like a mystical kind of like someone else's memory inside my brain. All right, I threw the coin away then.
All right, so you pick up a silver piece and Memories.
Nope.
Over the shoulder. Oh,
Yep. I just can't find anything good.
Weeks.
I don't happen to see that silver piece on the way out, do I?
No, you were kneeling in prayer, so no. You're kneeling in silent like internal recollection and reflection.
Come on, people, priorities.
Yeah.
We're trying to get memories.
Right. Would you like some food, Kluft?
I'm not sure.
From Anna, from the inn. Do you remember when you had all that to drink and all that to eat? When you had
Oh yeah, that would be good. Yeah, I would like to eat. I haven't had a good eat in a while. I mean, the smell usually does me, but sure.
So we're going to go and see Vienna.
Okay.
So, what is it we're looking for? What do we want to know? Like, I thought we knew it was a Dark Lord or something.
But we want to know who that Dark Lord is.
Oh.
They might have a secret tower or an invisible tower.
But
Then
why
how
would
we know who it is?
Why would they attack a lumber mill? Is it to fuel the
Well-
fires of industry?
It could be, but what the inscription on the tree said was that my god, Asia, sent some of their warriors to reclaim a debt. So what we need to find out is who that debt is from, and I think that might be your Dark Lord.
Oh, someone's been borrowing money from the wrong folk.
Well, from my god, money doesn't really matter. It's more. Do you remember that tree and how
Yeah.
big it was? And sort of. That would be an important thing for my god. And Ashen takes out the pine sprig. This is important, and I don't know why yet.
Wait, so are you saying that your god doesn't like it whenever folk have been nicking your trees?
Tree, I am no tree.
Rip them all.
Ada understands. Ada understands that people, so myself, you, everyone who sort of stands and talks, needs to use their resources to be able to live. But there is times where we can be greedy and take too much.
Hmm.
And obviously that makes it upsets the balance, because we're not the only things that need those things. There are the animals, there are the birds, and there are the other plants. So
But doesn't the biggest thing get it? Or the fastest?
well, we're not the biggest things. We're not the fastest either.
Huh.
out Klufted right there. Out logicked. Kluft logic there.
Oh, that makes sense, yeah. Got axes, though. Well,
We do. We would probably be the cleverest, but clever isn't always good.
well, I don't know. I've known some people in my day. Oh. But if they, then if it's annoying the trees that's been doing this, then then surely it's the fella that owns the lumber mill.
Well, that's what I want to try and find out, because I mean,
Who's
the
the
place we
tough?
just went to was,
Who's the tough that owns the lumber mill?
well, it was the logging guild. So it's the group of people who sort of manage all the forests in the area and go, right, this is a tree we can take down, these ones we leave.
Who are they?
But I don't know. I don't think we've met any of them yet.
Maybe we should ask and see, because maybe it's their blood that have done it.
Well, if we meet Benjamin on the way, we may be able to ask him, or we might be able to ask Diana, because I'll tell you a secret about bars, Kluft. They're just like streets. You hear all sorts of things that you might not have needed to, or might not have imagined you would. I bet you've heard lots of people having conversations that you weren't necessarily supposed to.
Oh, all sorts, like that time when old Whiskers was trying to put a bunch of gunpowder under the palace. I wasn't meant to hear that. Nope. They made sure I couldn't hear it again.
Remember the rats of November? the gunpowder cheesing and plot.
Yeah.
Midge, fuck you. And everything you stand for.
Honestly, I'm all for the Ratkin becoming just anarchists.
The revolt.
They're anarcho.
Forever destined to turn the wheel of history, to run in the mouse wheel of history and turn it forever over.
Never again will we be repressed by their mazes of intellect.
Yeah.
Oh,
We are not some test subject.
We know the Ratkin around here, though, are monarchy.
This is a
But
really
they're weirdos,
weird
run.
remake
This
of the Rats
is
and
country
Him.
rats. Those are country rats, though. Country rats have always been a bit weird. Field rats, you know?
They've always been a bit royalist.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, those bloody monarchist field rats.
So you're saying the rats get conservative the further they are away from the urban centres?
Yeah. And the closer they get to a green belt, basically, the more monarchist they get. Yeah. Not like the city rats. City rats are always trying to blow stuff up.
can we just like cut the session there and call it a day?
Oh,
Like,
God, no. So yeah, you head to the Lone Stag Inn, where Diana.
Why did you want to stop by the church?
Well, I felt it was important, and I'm a little bit different to everybody else.
Yeah, you're normal
think everyone-
sized.
Thank you.
Aw.
I hold a deeply firm belief in the wisdoms, and especially Aja, which I'm not sure the others share. And I wanted to see the place where those wisdoms would have been most felt here. The shrine in town is fine, but half of me wants to understand why they've never rebuilt the church.
It's kind of weird.
It's been years.
It's weird. I've never been in a place without a church. There's always some angry priest running around. You can't go 5 steps without running into a church back home. Everybody wants a god.
But that's how I've always seen it. I mean, I've spent a lot of time in the forest, but every population centre I've been to has some sort of organised faith.
There ain't even a
They
priest.
do have makeshift icons of the wisdoms in the town square.
Yeah, but there's still no priest.
True.
Yeah. Church usually sends a priest, because otherwise everyone gets really morally lax.
Well, especially because if it's the word I can't say, Roach, I apologise, then the priest leads all of the sermons. Would I know which half of the religion would be in these parts, Roach?
Algan, the region
The
you're in.
Protestant or the Catholic?
Yeah, the
three options.
Algan area is, well, one of them is definitely not around here. Orthoquintic is like the Orthodoxy is out east. by a good ways, east and a bit no further north than here. But the Allegan area is very intermixed. It usually gets a bit more reformist the further south you go, but this is kind of in the center, so it could have been either or. Though from the way that it could have been either way. You don't really have any ways of gauging it, because it would be like iconography, or if there was like how many patron saints were listed, or what the holy book was written in could give you an idea of that. Like if it was in the old language, then if it was in Quintothic, then it would have been in old Asperdi, but Ventrum it would have been in common, so it's kind of just could be either or. No, you never really asked anybody around here. It's kind of like a
question to ask.
It's kind of like one of those questions was like, so which side of the war are you on? Just like,
how did the church burn down? Do we know?
I don't, because I wasn't at the conversation between the mayor and...
You'll find out in the next scene.
Oh, I've got a foolproof plan to find everything out about this time. I've got a foolproof plan. I'm gonna get the entire history of this time. It's gonna be so easy. It's gonna be so easy.
Is it ask Roach to write everything down?
No, it's even better. Well, are we at the bar now?
yeah, you've got a little bit of time before the rendezvous.
Sure.
Time. Yeah.
Well, whenever we enter the bar, I look for the lonely old man who's drinking by himself.
Oh, you're a genius.
Yeah. There's always one, Roach. There's no role necessary. This is the local pub.
It's not though. This is the inn. This is the Lone Stag Inn, which is technically a
There's more than one
inn.
bar.
No, it's not that big of a town.
Well, then there you go. It's the local, mate. There's no bar that is not the local if there's only one bar.
There is a lone old man drinking in the drinking at the bar, and then there's also just a shadowy corner in which there are a couple of various shadowy individuals who are just wearing hoods that are waiting for quests.
By the strange folk abroad.
Talk of goblins in the hills.
Over there, that's a group of over there. That's a group of striders.
Yeah,
it's got one for every potential adventuring party that comes through.
Just like 5 men with hoods and pipes. Like
I ignore the obvious mysterious figures. I look to Ashen and I go. I say, I'll go find out what happened with the pub, or with the church. And I
look in the direction that Kluft's looking in. Would you like me to buy them a drink?
Oh yeah, that would be useful actually. I open my pockets and like some seeds fall out. No, I reach into my pocket and I take out the spice that I have, and I say I was going to pay with this.
I'm not
they are
sure
very
Deanna would
expensive
take
spices.
You do have a couple of, because you bought more than you could drink when you splurged, so you do have like a couple of bottles of booze in like just your pockets. So
I know, but you're not allowed to drink. You're not allowed to drink bottles of booze at the pub. You've gotta drink. You know, you gotta buy. It's not BYOB. Yeah.
That would be a weird thing. Just come up to an old man, just go 1 second, I'll get you a drink. just pour your own drink out of your pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Want some grade A hooch. But yeah, like if you wanna buy a drink for us, then I will sit and I will listen to all his stories, and then I'll come back with all the information that's relevant. I'll ask him questions.
And irrelevant.
Yeah.
I will ask Deanna for 3 ales then, or whatever that dude's drinking.
Yeah, she only has ale.
It's white or red.
Oh, what's this? This is a pint. I'm about the right height.
They come in pints.
This is slowly
known
just becoming
as-
just references of Lord of the Rings. This whole
Can you guys tell that I have been watching Lord of the Rings recently?
Yo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you that person who watched the entire Lord of the Rings series like 300 times? In the last
No, I
month
haven't.
Alone?
I'm not. But
No.
I did that thing where where you watch a couple of clips and then it's like you just like, well, I guess I gotta watch the entire extended trilogy now. Because
Yep.
like it just gets you. It's that good.
The algorithm got me. I've been rewatching the Orville because I saw a clip of it. And I was
Nice.
like, nope, now I've got to watch all 3 seasons again.
I've been on the same train as Discourse actually. I'm been contemplating rewatching the Lord of the Rings because I've been watching loads of clips from it.
Nice.
Ink
It's
Master
so good.
has
Yeah.
been
Won't
my
stop.
my
The
big
algorithm won't stop until you.
Yeah, I found
until you
I
get in.
found yet another Lord of the Rings lore channel, so that's what I've been binging as well.
Nice.
So,
What
yeah.
one? Let's give a shout
Of
out.
course.
Oh, what
I
is
wanna
it?
know.
I'll find it. I'll come back.
No, don't say it until they pay us.
I've been watching Ink Master again because I just love tattoos, man.
In Deep
Okay.
Geek is who I've been listening to recently.
I like In Deep Geek. Yeah, I like his stuff.
damn
Yeah.
it. So
He does Game of Thrones as well, like A Song of Ice and Fire. Yeah.
Yep. So, I feel really sorry for the Game of Thrones lore channels that saw everything tank when they.
Well,
came out.
Alt Shift X is still getting millions of views, so don't worry about it.
Yeah. So, why don't we do this? Roll. Figure out how many questions you want to ask. And then we will roll a number of dice for that, and we'll just see how well it is instead of going through 30 minutes of you talking to an old drunk man trying to gather information.
Yeah, just be his friend for a while and ask him stories about like what happened in what happened to the old church, after a couple of drinks and stuff. Ask him what football team he supports. Talk about that for a little bit. Just to make conversation.
Battle ball, see what battle ball player he favors this season.
Exactly, right? Thing about the orcs is they always walk it in. Okay, so what am I? Okay, so the questions, I guess. I guess we want to know what happened to the church. We want to know what happened to the church. We want to know what happened to the priest. And I presume, from what the mayor said, that he got burned to death. So if we find that out, then why hasn't there been a new priest? What happened to the old lumber camp? Like, what do people think happened at the lumber camp? You know what I mean? Like, it's not like the fucking...
rumors.
Yeah. Like, what happened? Like, what do people think happened at the lumber camp? Also, I guess, ask about the foreman. Is he involved? Like, is he involved in anything a little bit suspicious? Was he a jack around town? Did he have a lot of money? Did he throw cash around a lot? Stuff like that.
There is a rumor roll.
Yeah. Well, that's because maybe this is the time to crack that bad boy out. Can you think of anything, Red? Oh, I've got
So I was
rumor.
definitely going to ask. I would also. How? Just because I'm curious, how long has the mayor been mayor? Because decades feels long.
Yeah, that is long for a mayor. Is it an elected position here? Do we know?
I'm gonna say, given the fact that they have an actual liege lord, probably not.
So he's a reeve, really?
It's a reeve, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Or a burger,
And,
or a burgermeister as well would also be applicable.
And how close did the wall get to the?
Pretty fucking close, apparently, if the church is anything to go by. But let's find out. Okay.
Well, that's just moving.
Random arrow.
Yeah.
Just a random arrow from a battle a couple of miles away. Just kept flying.
Very unlucky. Very unlucky.
Astronomical conditions.
All right.
so-
Well, I have the rumor talent. Like, I have the talent rumor.
Oh, okay. Could you read that to me so I know? Because
Do you have the rule book?
yeah, if you can tell me the page number.
I do not.
So what's the question? I'm holding the rulebook right here.
I'm looking for the talent rumor.
It's under fellowship. It's just a stat under fellowship. It's a main.
Oh, okay. Oh,
So
well,
it's-
I bought it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the, it's a skill. Rumor is
Hang
a
on.
skill.
Hang on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a stat under skill, so you can roll to find out rumors and stuff like that.
And the sub-talents underneath it are etiquette, gossip, linguistics, public speaking, and secret languages.
Are we getting any bonuses to this because of the context, Roach?
You're getting a +10 for this because you bought him a drink. So just.
And he's a lonely old man. We've like specifically targeted someone who will give in to our
I'm
machinations.
giving you a +10 even though you're a trash man.
I fit right in at a pub.
Rumor is used to gather information from social circles, stimulating conversation by being gregarious and talkative. It's perfect.
Yep. So just
Well,
roll
I got a
this.
94. So
I was gonna say roll it 3 times because you're asking a couple of different questions, and I'm just gonna see how.
okay.
I'm gonna average it
Shall
out.
I re-roll this 94 though?
All right.
The
Yeah,
first question got 94,
Do it.
and then I got 99 for the second question.
Definitely re-roll that one. That's a critical
Sure.
fail.
Well, okay. We'll
you
do
got
the re-rolls
199.
next, like last.
You got,
Yeah.
because you can only re-roll something once. So you got 199. I double checked.
Okay.
You can only re-roll something once. So you got a 99.
And then a 77. So the pretty per rules.
It's
But,
2 critical failures.
So I think re-roll all 3. Like. I
All right,
think
so the
re-roll.
77 you're gonna re-roll.
How many re-rolls do we have, Roach?
You've got now you have well that was that now you have 4 re-rolls left after this one that you're just gonna go.
Okay,
right
sure.
now.
I think we do like fucking. I think we go all in on the re-rolls.
Yeah.
We get this old man to spill the beans. All right. Well, here's the first re-roll. I got 84. So even worse. And then the second
Not a
re-roll
critical fail, though.
Change your dice. Good.
got 1. And then third re-roll.
Well, no, that's I was gonna say that's all
41.
you got because you re-rolled the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was the 99. Then you re-rolled the second one. You got a 90. You got an 89 after the re-roll because it was originally 77. And then your last one, you got a 1.
Oh, well, no, I rolled 3 times. It doesn't matter because I think I failed. I got a 41 on my last roll. I rolled 3 times. I failed all 3 times, so I re-rolled 3 times. I failed the first re-roll. I succeeded the first one, or the second one, and then I got a 41. And I don't know if that's a fail or a success.
She did all the first rolls first, and then all
Yeah.
the second re-rolls second.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what you're saying is your original 3 are
All were terrible fear.
was 99, 89, and
Yeah.
91.
79, and 91.
And then the
your
re-rolls.
re-rolls
Yeah.
was fail, and a 1. So, so you
The
got 1
41 is a
success.
fail. The 41 is a fail. I've got 38 fellowship.
Okay, so you
No,
start talking to
Have plus 10.
You got +10. That is true. Okay, so
Yeah.
you start talking to him. I'm just gonna tell you this. Which one do you want to prioritize? You want to know the most because you're only gonna get 1 bit of information. I can't give you any more because of those rules.
What, 2 successes?
That's
A roll of a 1 and a success.
A critical success on 1
Yeah.
success because she just rechecked. She gets the +10. Her 38 is actually a 48.
Yeah.
Therefore, that 41. Success.
Yeah.
You're messing this up. You rolled because you said it out loud. You rolled before the 99. You rolled once before that, so you had a failure, a 99, 77.
Yeah.
Then you re-rolled, and
Yeah.
you got an 89,
Uh-huh.
a
1.
a 1,
Uh-huh.
and
then
what was your last?
41.
A 41.
Yeah.
Which is a success.
Okay.
Yeah, with the plus 10.
Okay. What are the 2 things you want most?
I can't remember what the questions were. we've been locked in this ride. I don't know, Red. What do you think are the most important ones?
What happened to the church?
Mm-hmm. And what's his favorite Blood Bowl game?
Battle ball.
Is he,
battle.
is he a Celtic or a Rangers fan?
So, man, what god do you support?
United or a City fan?
Why wasn't the church rebuilt? So
Okay.
what happened to the original? Why wasn't the church rebuilt?
All right, you're told church was burned down when the invading army raided the village. They burned the church down, a couple of blocks of buildings on the outskirts of town.
And then I ask him, why is he so like reluctant to tell us about the local history? An honest conversation.
The way this works, so you got that, and then it wasn't rebuilt because it costs a lot of money, and the town isn't doing well, apparently, from what he knows. And then he passes out because he drank too much.
Oh,
That's why you don't get the information. He was willing to talk to you, but it was basically a test of
How long does
Okay.
my liver survive?
how long he was going to stay conscious after you plied him with liquor.
but like, did the church not burn down after or before? Like, did the church not burn down before the lumber mill? And the lumber mill
way
was
before.
bringing in money, right?
Way before the lumber
Yeah.
mill
So like,
existed.
so the lumber mill should have been bringing in money and stuff, right?
Lumber mill wasn't a town venture. It was a guild venture that was given writ. The guild was given writ of ownership of a section of land by the lord of the land, not by the mayor. And so they would have only been spending their money, the lurkers here, but that wouldn't have been like extra tax enough to rebuild a building like a stone church.
Right.
And this is also what this random old guy knows.
Oh, well, he'll know. Like, to be fair, like if anyone knows, it'll be that random old guy who's lived here all his life, right? Like they're the experts.
But possibly. You wouldn't necessarily know the financial specifics of like of the mayor's books.
Oh, dude, I don't know. I think you're underestimating like how much the rumor mill gets grinding. You know, like people will notice if like the mayor is like buying really fancy cornelations for his house. You know, people will notice that stuff. What we need to find is like an old widow. She'll be able to tell us what's going down.
Right.
Wait for this guy to wake up and figure out where the big bridge tournament is going on. And then go to that.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'll say,
Like-
with all that information, all that time, because you have to spend time to kind of like get to know him and talk to him a little bit, and that's what you get in terms of like usable information, piecing together from his random long drawn out explanations, because he's an old guy, so he'll just talk for a long time without really saying anything. I'll say around that time is about the time you're supposed to rendezvous with the rest of the party, because you were given about an hour.
Okay. Bob, I guess. Does Daniela not, or what was her name? The innkeep?
Diana.
Diana. Yeah. If we're sitting at the bar, does she venture any volunteer any information?
Ashen, because I would say that's you're spending your efforts with the old man. What is Ashen doing during that time?
She's asking about the church as well, but more what happened to the priest and whether any sort of priest has tried to sort of set up here and then had to move on, or what's happened with them.
Okay. Yeah, you ask, and over the course of about a half hour talking with her, you get the information. Priest died in the fire. Had boarded up the church and stayed there when it couldn't get out when it was burning.
Why did they board up the church?
Because the priest was in there.
But why did the priest board up the church though?
No, he didn't board up the church. The people burning the church boarded up the church.
Why'd they board up the church?
It's a religious war.
Because the priest.
It's a religious
It's a
war.
religious war.
They burned him alive. They didn't want him to.
Well, isn't that the guy who's done it all then? Wasn't the priest who's like put a curse on the town? He got burned alive by the townsfolk. Why have we this is the first time I feel like I'm hearing this.
The townsfolk.
It wasn't the townsfolk. The church
raiders.
burned down. 10 years ago, there was a campaign that got this far south from the Catholic-esque version of this religion. Came down here, fought, got within the village for a while, and during that time they burned down the church. They occupied it for a little bit. They burned down the church. It's a religious war. And so part of that was they burned down the church with the priest of what you now can infer was the opposite religion.
Okay.
The opposite.
Is there any icons of that other god around?
Well, they're all the same god. They're all the same.
Right, but are they in the style? Basically, what I'm asking is that did that force that occupied the town, have they seemingly left an impression in the sense that their religious iconography is now visible as opposed to the previous iconography that would have belonged to that previous church?
From what you can tell, there's not really anything denoting either or at this point. There's just the shrine that has been set up with the 5 statues of the 5 different wisdoms, the 5 gods, but nothing. You don't see any Ventrum iconography or any Quintothic any Quintothic iconography either. It's kind of just, it's like could make the what would I say? You could make the leap in logic of saying maybe they're not taken aside until after everything's settled down, after having already been burned.
Why put up religious signs at all then?
Well, both of them worship the same gods. So.
That's kind of interesting though, because I have to imagine the lumber guild, like, where are they from then? Are they from the occupiers or from the occupied? Do we know? Have we heard any of that info?
Well, if they're working with the Lord and the Lord is a part of this region, they're probably from somewhere like in one of the major cities, like up north, so maybe St. Telo or Barnay, which would be a part of the Princeton,
the occupiers.
No, they'd be further. Occupiers would have been from the Marches or somewhere up further north. So the Princeton of the Lynn is a Ventrum aligned power, which is the
Ventrum are the attacker. Were the attackers?
No, Ventrum is the one, or the reformists. They're the ones that are from around here.
Okay, and who were the attackers? Quintothic.
Quintothic as in 5 in Latin, quinth.
Okay, so the Quintothic were, so just so I'm clear in my head, because it's not 100% certain to me. So the Quintothic basically attacked here like 10 years ago, and that's what the battle is that everyone has been seeing in the visions, where the Quintothic came south and attacked the Ventran, basically. Yes. And this battle had taken place all over the place. And there was a period where the fighting was around this town, like a couple of miles out.
It's still going on. The Great Schism still exists. It's still going on. It's been for the last 34 years. 34 years. It's been a multi-decade.
Okay. Huh. And during that period of time, then the Quintok have taken over this village. They took over this village, burnt the church down. Then left for whatever reason, presumably that the Ventrum sort of retook this area, and this village has never rebuilt the church. They've never sought the new church in. The Reeve apparently was allowed to continue to rule, so it's kind of interesting that obviously we don't know that, but Newton, you do, that the mayor or the Reeve was allowed to continue to basically govern the place. right? For the military, if he's been here decades,
Well,
right?
the thing is, from what we heard, is the army sacked the town. They didn't necessarily occupy it for too long.
So they just sacked it, looted as much as they could, and then left. And then since then, the place has been kind of cursed.
If you're trying to get a real-world basis of it, think of this as the 30 Years' War in terms of its level of conflict.
Sure.
And how it's being pursued.
Okay.
So occupation wasn't necessarily a primary goal in a lot of that fighting. It was a lot of sacking and burning things down and that kind of stuff. So
I'm not honestly, like, guys, I'm not 100% sure like how related that fighting is to this lumber mill issue, honestly, and the Fae. The Fae stuff feels more local, you know.
Yeah, it's the catalyst. We're looking for the catalyst to set it off. We're trying to look for the thing, and also we've got 3 quests, and each one of them has had a mysterious link to nature in some way. So we've got this, which is woods came out. The Fae, what's it called? The Pale Riders were Fae aligned, came out on behalf of the woods, attacked the lumber mill. We had something mysterious and something happened to the mine as well in this period. And then the dire wolf that we folklored the shit out of is a guardian spirit for the woods as well.
Yeah.
So there is all this nature kind of going.
Well, it could have been that, like, basically during that battle, the big magic spell that they did
Blew up an old tree.
Yeah, like it just fucked up. It just annoyed like an old witch of the woods or something, and.
The main thing I'm trying to get, the one thing is like someone or something is currently active setting the most recent stuff to go. So something else. Is it? He's been very forthcoming and helpful.
Yeah, but well, exactly, and that's why it's him.
Oh, well, like a serial killer trying to get involved with the crime. Okay.
Yeah, he loves it. He's like, oh, where's the mushrooms at? You know.
But to be fair, whoever is doing this needs to have at least some understanding of old Asperdi, for one thing, because they need to have been able to write that message.
To be honest,
unless
I really
that came from the Pale Riders themselves.
I really suspect Benjamin.
He hired us and he's taking us north, and in quest knowledge, if he can't take us north, we're not leaving the tutorial zone. So I don't think it's him.
Well, maybe
I can't run a game that doesn't have some inkling back to general quest design from World of Warcraft.
So the questions we have left to ask for this quest are: where the fuck's the ledger? And I think another good question to ask people is, was there any tragedy recently? Someone dying tragically? Just to rule out the idea that someone has lost a loved one and is kind of claiming on things. But other than that, we gotta just find out what the guild deal was.
Yeah, Dagmar lost a Ludakin recently. That was a big
That's true. That was to the rats. That's the other line of things. We have the rats who were expelled from the mine have now got...
It's Dagmar!
There's the blue cloak and the red cloaks, and they're going to...
Well-written routes, we never even suspected him.
I've been breaking down our quests and going from what connects and what doesn't connect. There's a big nature connection, but this is definitely its own thing with the Pale Riders. And
it could be that the rats have like annoyed a ghost. Like, who knows, you know? But I feel like the rats are like a little bit of a red herring.
Well,
you know,
we're out of time for today.
A lot of theory crafting.
Did Red? Did you get to ask your questions though, or did I? Did we?
Nope. You got stepped on. Honestly, if you were just gonna ask all that stuff, basically you just got you just burned in the church. Was the priest got burned in the church? It happened about 10 years ago when the church, when the city was sacked. And I don't remember the last thing you asked, but I don't think you got any like major new information.
I was just going to ask about any sort of old pine forest around the place, because she's been here for a long time. So
She doesn't know anything specific. She doesn't know any specifics. You know, there are like random pines, but if you're looking for like like an old like grown in pine grove or something like that, the person you want to ask about probably be like Hester, as the herbalist. He might know like local areas that are Benjamin.
You need to take that sprig to Hester as well.
I think I know how to resolve.
I'll pick up some poison as well.
I think I know how to resolve this, everyone. We just do like a summoning ritual and summon the local tree spirits or whatever, and ask them.
Spirits.
Yeah, just ask them. Just be like, yo, like, does any one of us know magic?
No.
The herbalist might.
All right, why don't we end today?
Yeah, so without further ado, this has been a lot of brain ache this session, but all we've got left to do is to say thank you to everyone who's been here. We have of course been joined by Discourse Miniatures, Surelyonlymikey, UtariOnzo, Red Moogle, and Rival Zone Gaming. We've been GM'd tonight by the wonderful Commissar Roach. I have been Midgeman, and this has been the Component Cast. You've been watching The Great Schism, and we'll be back next week. Bye-bye now.
Bye.